Okay. So the stream is live. People are in the chat already. So I would like to welcome all of you to this beginner tournament in GGXrd Rev 2. I hope we're gonna have some good matches today, and I hope that everyone participating will learn something new. So joining me today, we have Malrodin.
That's me.
We have Vilay.
Hi guys, how's it going?
And lastly, MechaGS, or Gibbs.
Hello folks, how are you?
So, we're kicking off this stream. What's our first match that's going to be coming up now?
Yeah, let's see.
It's looking like it's going to be Sean Symphony and Asugi. I know Sean Symphony is one of our local British players. He's one of the Manchester lot. Very new to the game. I think he's been playing for a week.
Does he have prior experience in fighting games?
He definitely does. Possibly not so much anime games though. I think he's more of a.
It's very different. So, like, I only know a few guys. I played a bit with Yukinon, who also plays Mei, and I know Ark plays too. So, you know, I watch out for my Mei bros basically. But otherwise, I have no idea who's in this.
I'm in the same boat. We've run past the only player that I know in this tournament in Sean Symphony, so it's all downhill from here for me. I'm hoping to see some Leo action. Obviously, is a very effective character at beginner level and very good to watch.
I'm also hoping for the Turbo Soul, which I'm sure we will see. Yeah. Yes. Whenever you guys are ready, just start. Remember to turn off the stream when you're playing, so your lag doesn't, you know, go too bad. Gave them a hint. It worked. This gets
with that.
Damn. Here we go. I think this comes down to if Jam can bully him out of his comfort zone, which is full screen, right? Let's see. Oh, very aggressive start.
Counter hit there. Okay, so already I'd like to see Jam get more of that. I don't know what the bonus is. That 2-hit normal that brings him in. It's like a great pressure starter.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to get a feel for each other. Yeah, there we go. The balls reagents. And that doesn't work on crouching, sadly. So if you use it on pressure, you need to make sure. I mean, Sen has the... It's definitely easy on execution, at least on this level. So you see him do his combination specials, which is a lot of damage. There we go. Yeah, that should be it. Meanwhile, Jam has to rely a lot on, you know, getting knockdowns into cards. So he's struggling right now. But it's not too bad. You definitely see the fundamentals of it.
Cool. I have noticed so far that Asagi's doing a very good job of keeping on top of his hunger meter, which is quite difficult for beginner sim players.
He needs to know what he can do on Wake Up though. Like, you can see him mashing, so he's relying on the sim player to make a mistake by missing his meeting, which is not. See? Like he's doing 2P. I think he's just scared because he doesn't know what to do yet. So... Like, that was very good. Like, if he did a backdash, I think he would have caught it. So... Oh, best mechanic. This mechanic is definitely Sin favorite.
I would strongly agree with that statement. Yes, this is one of those matchups that's always going to be difficult for a new Jam player, just because it's like the two opposites. You've got extreme range versus short-range pressure, so Jam really has to work hard to get in, which is difficult to get around the barrage of specials that can sink and just throw at you.
She doesn't have the buttons to really rely on too many fundamentals. She has to have some sort of, you know, like the kick mix-ups and stuff. So she's very pressure-oriented. But the Ryujins are doing excellent work. The Sim player doesn't really FD much in the air, so he's not blocking them.
Yes, a good run underneath there as well.
It's a shame because her anti-air 6P isn't very good, and I think she can't actually beat Sim's, you know, jumping special. I'm not sure. And the JD, it's really hard for her.
She can do the dragon kick, or that's not Ryu, whatever the dragon kick is, but her 6P is one of the more unique ones. It's kind of more of a counter poke anti-air.
Right, hits twice anyway. Yeah, it's hard to use a newt with a Ryujin. If you don't have cards, it won't hit on crouches, and it's, you know, counter hit state until it's over. So need to make sure it actually hits.
Yeah, whiffing it in the corner is something to be avoided at all costs.
I think he hasn't summoned like a card yet. He needs to basically do a 2D knockdown into the card, but he's struggling to get a grip right now. I think he's just focusing on pressure, besides, you know, summoning cards and then making his specials better. Anti-air 5D.
So, one of the more interesting interactions. Does happen. Obviously, you don't get the launch if you get the anti-air. The has to hit normally on the floor.
Right.
It's an unsafe card there. That's probably accidental input.
I think on the part of the Sim player, when she does the puff ball, is what we call it, where she, you know, throws the fist out and the ball comes out. If she does the follow-up to it, which is the other puff ball, he doesn't have to respect it. He can actually just mash and it beats it cleanly. So, yeah, this one. Yeah, and he grabbed exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Just throw her. Not bad.
Okay, that was a pretty strong performance from. Oh no, his name's not on the screen. I've already forgotten it. Like that. Asogi, that was it. I've got the bracket right next to me as well. I should have just looked at that. But yeah.
It wasn't free though. If you looked at his health, he definitely took a lot of hits. I think Symphony was trying to just, you know, overwhelm him basically, and it almost worked.
Yeah, I think that tends to go both ways, especially at beginner level. It's because no one's really going to know the matchups at this kind of level. It's kind of the best offense just wins for free. The more dominant player in neutral will tend to win.
Right. People don't have the knowledge yet, so they have to rely on, you know, fundamentals on neutral, or, you know, just go turbo, which also is actually pretty viable.
Always fun.
Yeah, if you want to win with this.
Cool. So I just wanted to just jump back very quickly and just explain. We mentioned in the middle of that game faultless defense in the air. Didn't fully explain it. It's the mechanic where you have the green orb around you, and it allows you to block grounded normals and grounded specials in the air where normally they wouldn't be blockable. So you need to spend a bit of meter to make yourself safe like that. It makes it more of a commitment to blocking rather than just having a relatively simple option select and holding back until you press your button. It makes it riskier to jump in with a normal, basically.
Anger, that is all. I appreciate it. Oh, we've got Frosting.
Frosty, I think this is not Frosty.
I'm not sure.
This is not the real.
Oh, another May player. I'm amazed. May against Leo is very fun to watch. Battle of the Gorillas.
Yes, so if either of them hits a combo, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I mean, if they have the combos, I expect the May player to maybe struggle with his, you know, Okizeme a bit, so his knockdown and wake-up game. But the Leo, you know, wrecker combinations, his specials on the ground are very strong.
Yes, kick slash hard slash wrecker is a very nice chunk of damage for no execution whatsoever.
Oddly enough, both are charge characters, right? And they kind of have similar looking specials, but the function is very different. You know, Leo is basically Gaia on steroids. Like if they made Gaia a rushdown character, and May is something else to behold. Jesus. Going in.
So immediately we saw the risk very high from on the May side. And this is like somewhat illegitimate pressure. There's a lot of gaps in this, and May's going to need to study up on that a little bit.
But same for the Leo player right now. He's doing a lot of overheads. In between each of those overheads is a gap. But you see her risk gauge is actually almost full.
Yeah.
The red and super always works.
Nice. It's very invincible, that super, so it blows through a lot of stuff for free.
The May player is not reacting to the overheads right now. I believe he just doesn't know about. It's really hard.
If he's not playing much Leo, he might be confused over the two moves that look similar. He's got 6H, which looks like an overhead but isn't, and back turn H, which looks like an overhead and is.
Yeah. The Leo player is not using, flash kick a lot, which May players usually get beaten by because they jump a lot.
Yes, you have to spend a lot of time in the air.
Yeah. Although I have to say this May is actually being kinda honest. He's using the Kirch Ice special jump to HS, which of course is plus on block, so you can get in with that really easily.
I saw May got counter hit in the middle of Leo's 5H, 6H, and so he's identified that there's something not right about that, and there is a significant gap, but I think he pressed too slow button to interrupt. Just Matt.
He should try. I would like to see him, use FD to push him out, because right now he's doing infinite pressure. If he just used FD, because it increases push block, he might be able to get out and jump.
Yeah, and also negates risk, which is a huge factor with Leo.
Yeah,
it builds very quickly if you start blocking those H buttons. Just from blocking that 5H, 6H Gatling, he's got 25% risk, just like that. Okay, so we're seeing May take to the air a little bit more now, and stay away from Leo.
He's definitely playing Turbo May though, I have to say. All his knockdowns don't go into summons, which is the usual Okizena for her. He opts for using a lot of charged dolphins. He's playing very, very bossy, but it kind of works.
Does, especially at this level where the more varied offense will tend to win out.
Right. You can definitely get people with gimmicks here. Oh, whale to whale. Oh.
He should have done well, because he would have got the big counter hit as well. That would have been nice to have.
Hellfire too, he might have won off of that. I like how he's using 2P on Wake Up. I think he's trying to, because he doesn't know yet how ulti works, he's just using an option that's fast. I think it sometimes gets, people if they mash throw. What people usually do is if they miss space their ulti, they get thrown, right? So people mash 2P because it counters it sometimes.
Cool. Now, one thing that the Leo player needs to work on over Banjo is identify when you do your kick slash and it's an air hit. Because if you do kick slash, you have to do when it hits him in the air, you have to do a jump cancel to get a full combo rather than going into hard slash and wreckers. So it's like one of the most important things when you're starting off as Leo, otherwise you lose a lot of damage.
Right, confirming is everything. Like even the May player, when I play May, when I see him play, I see so many gaps. And this counter hit where he could have killed him basically. So at higher level, it all comes down to confirms. But you learn that over time. It's hard to learn, confirming in practice mode, since it's all, in game it's always different how you hit them in neutral. He just does a lot, the guard point attack.
Yes, it's an interesting move. The applications of the guard point are almost entirely limited to burst baiting. or if you whiff a normal, it's kind of like your last chance if they're coming at you in the air and you think they're going to press a button. Okay, a lot of pokes traded in neutral without any of them really adding up to big damage at the moment. Which goes back to what you were saying about hit confirming.
Yeah, but the May player hit confirms his springs into charged dolphins, which basically reset the playfield to neutral. So it's not a very good option. If he did a 2D after this, he would get knockdowns and summon OP.
Yes.
Really strong. So that's what he needs to work on, I'd say.
Yeah, at the most basic level, the flow of Guilty Gear is do a combo into a knockdown and set up your Oki.
And every character has some sort of Oki. I mean, for Leo, it's going into his back stance, so he doesn't, throw projectiles really. Well, he can with the HS projectile, but it's much simpler than May's. May is very set play heavy.
I would agree with that. Yeah, you just all you want to do with Leo is knock down and run through them to get into back turn, and then you do overhead or low, basically.
After the Wrecker, you can also do, the HS Duval, as we call it, which locks them down too.
Put the meaty fireball on them, which is again great source of Oki in this game is meaty fireball.
Good show from both players, I'd say. I think if the May player adjusts his game plan a bit, he could have definitely beaten him. I say that as a May player here. So.
I think so. I'd like to see the May player do more on the set play. I think it's, as you say, it's quite essential to get that knockdown and start setting up your dolphins.
And the Leo player maybe needs some confirms, like you said. I think that's something everyone can work on.
I'd say he needs to work on the pressure a little bit more as well, because it works now to do your Gatling chain in the end in the 6H and reset it, but there is a significant gap there, and you'll start to get blown up for it as the level of play gets higher. Cool. So we touched very briefly on hit confirms and FD in that match. So very quickly, hit confirms is the act of pressing buttons, seeing if they hit, and then if they do hit, going into something that wouldn't be safe but leads into full damage.
What you usually have on the ground is a kind of combo string that's safe on block, but if you hit them, you adapt on the fly, do something else that's more value. So for example, on May, you can do 5k close slash, and then if you hit them, you do 2D knockdown, and if you see them block, you do the charge dolphin, which is safe. So that kind of stuff. Like every character has some sort of string that has properties like this.
That's right. Choosing your Gatling route in Guilty Gear is very important. What buttons you can end on safely, what buttons lead to more pressure, what buttons catch them out if they're trying to mash out of your pressure, that kind of thing. So structuring your offense and around hit confirms is very important.
There's one thing I noticed actually watching the May play, because obviously I'm sitting here analysing at the moment.
Yeah.
They didn't use the ball very much. Like the pressure surrounding the ball is quite good with May.
Yeah. So that's what I meant with setups. He didn't.
There was a lack of like himself safe. Is that the way to put it? Yeah.
No, like there wasn't a single. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but it's just not a single ball and not a single hoop. So, which is like both of them are pressure turrets and they are Okizeme turrets. So it's just missing in that regard. Like even doing ball and then YSC to make it safe applies a lot of pressure and it's really good. So that's something you can implement into your game plan really, really easily, and it adds a lot.
It's just about May. With May, while May is the so-called mini gorilla, she does need ways to keep herself safe because she does take a lot of damage beating from people who want to get in. Like Leo wants to get in, so if you don't give him a reason to dodge, the set play, you kind of get bullied for it rather than having a way of keeping yourself safe.
Yeah.
So
this is gonna be good.
Cool. So the next match here is Smiles and Goth Bunter, Battle of the Waifus, Bacon and Jam. So I would say
that Senrishin, so.
these are two very difficult characters to learn the game with, to start with anyway, just because they're relatively unforgiving.
Right, but I mean, if you like your character, regardless who it is, you're gonna learn them. Do it for her, as they say.
Exactly, stand by your waifu.
Yeah, Senrishin doesn't work. Just saying that again. You can just mash throw or anything. So Baiken's game plan is she basically wants to zone out the tatamis, especially, you know, air tatamis. Oh, burst! Spencer. It's not gonna kill, but next combo might. Grabs him out of it. Another one.
It works this time. Hellfire as well, which is acceptable
okay.
damage.
I don't expect the Viking player to, you know, parry a lot, because that's, you know, advanced game knowledge. But the pressure right now is really good. He was struggling a bit before, and I think missing inputs. Oh, we actually see one.
It's good, the anti-air counter.
Yeah,
Very reliable anti-air.
Both characters have parries, obviously, but Jams is much harder.
Jams is also highs and mids only. She doesn't have a low parry option like Baiken does.
Yeah. I haven't seen a single tatami yet, which is surprising, because I mean that keeps people out. Definitely worth considering implementing. Oh, command grab.
Nice. Oh, got a bit of follow-up damage as well. I'm not going to expect to see those air dust loops at this level of play. But getting a little bit of extra damage is always good.
Oh, that evaded, for sure. Does he RC to make it safe? Oh, he doesn't even get punished. Oh, he really likes that command grab. I think he's just playing on him not knowing what it is and how it looks.
Yeah.
Because it definitely has a lot of startup.
There's a big gap there. Yeah, between the after the claw and the command grab. So
yeah, she has several follow-ups, right? So he obviously uses the most high risk one, and it doesn't have too much reward if it isn't in a corner. But there's the tatami.
Just grounded tatami though. I think that the single biggest improvement that Smiles could make to his game plan is backing away a little bit more with air tatami. That's so strong, and it's not a difficult technique either. It's just a little simple thing you can add to your play and see a lot of mileage from.
Like his ground strings were very good. Like his pressure, very frame trappy like this, and. Right, so he relies a lot on, you know, being on the offense, while tatamis are usually a very safe and kind of defensive option. Does that go through? It actually does, but it's too far away, so it wasn't hitting.
Yeah, that fireball from Baiken's got a lot of startup and not too much recovery.
Yeah, like most projectiles in Guilty Gear, actually.
Yeah.
Like Kai is similar in that regard. I think the Jam player has troubles getting him in a comfortable range. Jam obviously has a very, very low comfortable range. So.
Yeah, she wants to be right in your face all the time.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple of times, maybe it happened with just then and with the earlier Jam player, the cards in the face. I've got to think that's an input error because it's completely unsafe, and it's just like because the input is down plus a button. Right. It's very easy to get if you're trying to mash something else, and almost certainly just then as well.
Yeah. But you see him like that was actually good footsies. He blocked 3 long-range pulls, and then counter hit with a fast slash. He could follow up on these, but I think he's just not there yet. But he has good fundamentals, I'd say.
I think both players showed pretty good fundamentals there. We saw both of them use the anti-air 6P, which is a very fundamental technique of most characters in Guilty Gear.
And I mean, fighting games come down to, Hadoukens and Shoryukens if you think about it.
Exactly. The 6P is generally in this game a mood that's upper body invincible, and for that reason will hit anti-air quite a lot of times. But we'll lose to certain other jump-ins. So it's one of those things to...
Or just any
practice
ground
lab.
normal mostly. The hitbox is really geared towards anti-airing usually.
That's right, yeah.
There's a few that are a bit special, but usually it's very straightforward.
Cool. We saw in that match for the first time today, and potentially last time, a burst super, which is or burst overdrive, I guess, in this game. But that's where you can utilize your burst for a super move with extra properties. Generically, they all have a bit more hit scaling on them, or a bit less rather, so they do more damage, and often have extra invincibility on them, so you can use them where a normal reversal super wouldn't work.
Venom is a good example, since he doesn't even have an overdrive attack or super that is in any way invincible. His only invincible move is Burst Dark Angel. So there you go. But even then, it's not. Sometimes it's just. I'm not sure at this level. It's definitely not worth, going for Burst supers during, if it's not killing at last round, because a burst is so, valuable. Getting out of a combo for free is pretty big.
It's true, but there's a big aspect in this game of knowing when to burst, when it's safe to burst, and when it's not safe to burst. So that's one thing you're missing at this level. However, you're not likely to see a lot of burst baits or burst safe combos either.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'd say saving the health is probably more important.
It's pretty much a jail-free card is what I'm trying to say at this level.
Exactly, yeah. So we're just waiting for our next match. Gibbs, did you have any strong feelings on that matchup?
The only problem with Jam, and I've said this since the beginning, even though she's been buffed, is she doesn't have any options for keeping herself safe. The idea of being in your face is real with Jam. I said that with Leo, but with Leo, you kind of have a range move or two, whereas with Jam, you unless you're using Puffball, you have nothing.
Yeah, and even that, you can't really call a range move.
When you're playing that character against specific characters, and you end up looking at things like, well, for example, in that match, she just got kind of batted around, unfortunately. There's no other way of putting it. And it's not easy to tell why either, because you're playing a character which is a lot harder than most in terms of just keeping your own neutral safe.
Definitely agree with that for Jam, yeah.
Yeah, I hope they keep working on it though, because she's an extremely rewarding character when you get to the point where you can understand where things can be safe, where they can't.
Mecha, did you see that he caught me Maldoran too? It just doesn't end, and he didn't even catch the conversation. It never ends. No one can pronounce this name.
Malroden, you shall be saved by me right now. Malroden.
I'm gonna shorten it to Mile soon anyway. It's just
save yourself the hassle, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's also worth noting, this might be completely wrong info, so please test for yourself, but Daikin 2H, I think Jam can do the Shadow Step to get over that, can't she? Because it is a low move.
Ooh.
Maybe.
So that's one of those things that might help Jam out in that matchup instead of getting zoned out quite so hard.
Like, I know that it evades projectiles, so if I play a Jam, I can't really do the hoops haphazardly, because usually they just phase through and hit me or throw me. Knowing when to use that is really important in the matchup. I'm sure it's in similar matchups too. Like, if you play against a Leo, I would expect you can just phase through the fireballs.
Yeah, that's right.
On the fact of Baiken, though, I didn't mention Baiken, of course, because the person played rather well. But on the face of it, you mentioned the best thing, which they didn't do, was to jump back air tatami, but also to use tatami in the corner as an Oki method, because it is just that damn good. It's an option to whack somebody in the head, and it's actually quite quick. So you might as well just do it at tatami. If you don't hit with it, it's still safe, because the person's not going to run through it. so you can keep yourself safe there too. So
Am I right in thinking that the tatami stays out if Baiken gets hit? I think it does, doesn't it?
yeah, it does.
Yeah, so that means it's you have to respect it on wake up essentially, or be prepared to deal with getting counter hit by it. So you need to hit with something that knocks Baiken down in order to make that remotely worthwhile.
It's probably her safest option at the moment because nobody really has a way of. There's no option select Servat to deal with the tatami mat in the air, so it's not a get out of jail free card, but it is a you can keep yourself safe card. So yeah, good stuff. Oh, what's Zato though?
I'm just emoting around. I noticed we have really good emotes. We got Laugh, we've got Laugh with class, and then we got Laugh manically. With class, obviously, is some, Karin. Oh, it's good stuff.
That's a classy laugh if ever I've seen one.
Yeah.
6 inches too strong, boys.
Let me just stand. I've just realised I've not put anything on this character. Just got the white guy, the short.
That's really the best part, though. Like you show you don't give a damn about aesthetics. You're purely here for the game.
I'm here to play, or watch in this case.
Yeah. So apparently we have some connection problems. Did I catch that correctly?
Yeah.
This is supposed to be Riku and Yukinon, I believe, which is in round 3 of winners. Not too sure what's going on though. And I look in the Discord and I see 275 new messages plus, so I'm not going to try and get to the bottom of this myself. So we did mention earlier on about FD, faultless defense, but we didn't go into a full explanation of that. I might as well just drop that in while we've got a little bit of downtime here. So FD is a way you can block moves and at the expense of a little meter, push the other character away a little bit and also receive no risk and no block damage. So it's one of those basic things that you can, if you're getting rinsed by the same strings repeatedly, you can push the opponent out a little bit and maybe make a whiffer move to that you yourself can whiff punish at the most basic level. Other times it can be used for, you also get extra block stun with FD, so it can be used for making tick throw attempts, well maybe command grow attempts go through you if they're not expecting the FD on the previous move. That's very character specific and weird to do that. I see we're still struggling with
connections.
These 2 players.
We've not seen this yet either, but we might do in the future if people realize it's a thing. There's a mechanic called Dead Angle. Dead Angle allows you to use a specific amount of meter, and you will literally knock the other player away. It's very similar to FD, but with FD, as well, like I said, you technically get space to hit them. With Dead Angle, it is literally get out of my face. So you can use that to, if you feel that you are under immense pressure and you have the meter to do so, you can hit 2 buttons.
The game definitely has, a lot of defensive, techniques you can utilize. Obviously, some are geared more at higher level. Like I wouldn't recommend blitzing a lot early if you don't have, the knowledge to know what the opponent does. But something like FD at any level works. Really easy. Like just to push them out. If you get corner pressured, you can FD to push them out and then jump out. That's like one of the most, basic techniques to get out of pressure.
Exactly, getting out of the corner is super important in all fighting games, but it's quite a good universal way of doing it before you've got a lot of in-depth in this game.
Right.
I think it's also worth noting that the dead angle attack is quite often a better way of getting someone off you than trying to do a reversal through their pressure in this game. It's a lot safer and a lot more effective in a lot of cases. So it's definitely something that's very underused by new players, and it's worth checking out.
So this is the 4th May, and I think the 3rd Jam as we've seen him before.
Cool. So this is, yes, we've not seen Bryn yet. This is third May, and this is another waifu battle.
Well, I wouldn't disagree.
I don't blame these players either, because there's some strong waifus in Guilty Gear, no mistake.
He gets a lot of mileage out of the 3K slide, but it's obviously quite unsafe. Good pressure.
Yeah, the 3K is also heavily low profile, isn't it, in this game?
Yeah. It's minus 40 on hit. It's really bad. It's the worst move in the game, I swear. It's good when you spend meter though. If you use RC to make it safe, it doesn't really matter. If you hit, you get a really good combo. If you just block it, at least it's safe. Like you see this a lot at beginner level. They're both sitting at 100 meter, not utilizing YRC to get projectiles out, or just in neutral to assess the situation. That comes with time usually. But you see this May doing a lot more summons, which is good.
Yes, there's much stronger neutral play from May here, and well, this is Jam in neutral. She just has to get in. There's no tools in particular to help you.
It's actually pretty interesting. The Jam jumping 2K, right? The dive kick on May, it actually leads to a combo. It's one of the few characters because she's so small. It hits 3 times and you can combo after, so it's really valuable in this matchup.
Interesting.
The one thing the jumper could do is, it's not safe by any means, but you can use 6H as a way of actually knocking a player about.
Right.
You need to know the spacing on it, but it's really good, just for that poke. And you can do the 6H into puffball and get the combo. Yeah. So obviously that might be a bit more than we should ask from new players, but if they can learn to do that, it's good stuff.
Right now his air movement is a lot jumping 2K favor. And the May player is really, really grounded. He's not jumping a lot, which is really interesting. Jam actually cleanly beats May in the air, usually, if she just jumps in and does jumping S. But since the May player is so ground-based, he has troubles getting in on them. It's really interesting.
Okay, good awareness from Jam to see that May wasn't challenging her, so yeah, why not get a few cards?
Yeah. I mean, these players respect each other a lot, which I like. Like, round start, not just press buttons, but actually move back a bit, and then start again. Good burst. He really likes jumping 2K. The problem is he needs to spend meter to get a combo usually. I think on crouching she gets a combo on May, but otherwise it's just reset. It's not much after. It's hard to block though, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was a nice cross up with the dive kick there as well.
Yeah. It looks weird when moves clash on Jan, because she doesn't have a sword or anything. So you wonder if it's a Mayets or something.
She's got bones of iron.
Alright, no, I thought.
It was an interesting gimmick. That one.
Oh, bad burst, sadly. The neutral is insanely good though. I like watching this. Oh, make it safe, please. RC? No.
That's gonna hit, yep.
That's super in the game. Completely invulnerable. So good. If we have Lion in the chat, I'm sure he agrees. Of doing that one.
Okay, we're seeing a bit more bullying from May neutral with these buttons from a May range rather than Jam range.
Yeah, but again, I think both players, if they are being pressured, they need to use FD to get out. It's usually you start doing it a lot, and then you stop using it because using meter defensively is boring. You'd rather use the cool supers, and then you start using it again at higher level. Pretty interesting.
That's right. FD is one of those things that's a little bit tricky against Jam as well, just because she's got that normal that vacuums you back in.
Yeah. But if you only FD the second hit, you're basically out. But you see, the supers are not really working outside of combos, so using FD would help. Really, really good. I would like to, for this male player, that he practices the air combos. She gets all her damage from it. That's really important to learn early. His ground stuff is pretty good, but, getting some air combos into Insanga for a knockdown and, 180 easy damage, it's really good.
Yeah, at this level of play, just getting your combos down will give you a huge boost in your win rate, just making the most of the few opportunities that you do get.
I mean, we have to, assume that these are also, not only beginners, but also beginner to tournaments. Like, when I played my first tournament, I was very, very nervous on camera. So I expect some execution errors more than usual.
That's fair enough. I tend to forget about that as I've been around for so long. But yeah, the tournament nerves is definitely real.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that was a very strong play there by both players. In fairness, obviously May Falls got the better of it, but I like what I saw from the Jam player as well, Bryn. I want to talk about Blitz a little bit, but I think we'll probably cover that later. Maybe we'll start seeing a bit more later, because there was a very interesting Blitz exchange in the middle of that game that will take a little bit of explanation. Because it was a held blitz. Rather than me being a blowhard, actually, do you want to explain bits for his Maldoran?
Sorry, I was typing in chat. Can you repeat what you said?
So I just wanted to give you a chance to explain blitz rather than have me give the bad explanation.
Blitz is basically a universal parry you can do, a high and low version that you can use for 25% meter. If they attack it, they are put into, blitz stun, basically, where they can only do blitz themselves to counter, your next attack, and, go for ping pong batters, or, just start blocking. You can also do the charged blitz, where you just hold blitz, but that usually gets countered. Unless you know what exactly you're trying to fish for, I wouldn't use it. But, tapping blitz, what we call it, is kind of strong. There's a few things, like, for example, Chip, when he does his Oki, where he just jumps above you and does jumping H, you can just blitz really easily to get him off of you. And he needs to, look for other ways to get in.
Exactly, yeah. The blitz gets you out of a left-right mix-up, basically. Because it's a neutral input, you just press 2 buttons. You don't have to worry about blocking either way, because it will auto-correct. Yeah,
that's actually kind of interesting. I never really think about it too much, that it can get out of cross-ups in the air really easily, right? So, for example, if a May comes at you and she does jumping 2HS, which is the move where she, sits on the anchor, comes down, you can very easily just high blitz that. Now we got Yukinon. Let's see this.
Yukinon, Riku.
And we've got May players. We've got the most players on May. It's actually it's really interesting.
That's good, because I've always said that May is an excellent beginner character. So it's good to see so many beginners on her. We got the waifu mix-up from Riku here, who has the avatar of Baiken in the game, and then is selecting Jack O.
He's not a very faithful person, then.
He likes
we've only seen waifus, by the way, and one Leo. I appreciate it. That's good, though. Are you stuck in Please Wait too?
Yeah.
It's stuck.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I think this is the match we were supposed to have earlier that we had to put off for connection problems, and I see we are still having connection problems. Unfortunate.
It's the one issue with the PC build, unfortunately, where you need to kind of have specific ports active to connect to people. Even if you can see them in the room, it doesn't mean you can play, which is kind of horrible. Oh. Skip it. There we go.
An unfortunate turn of events here. I'm not sure if even if these guys play in a different room, I'm not sure if they'll actually be able to play.
Yeah, I mean, we can try once more. Sometimes it works. I've had this problem before. Usually you just don't tap out or alt enter window mode or something. Nah, it doesn't look too well. That's a shame. Oh,
wait.
we have a game
Oh.
going.
Yeah, you got it.
There we go.
The game's just being picky.
Shout outs to GGXrd, the version that we all recommend despite these few teething problems. Yeah, if you're a new player to Guilty Gear, this is the PC version of XrD is the easiest way to get games, especially against other beginners. So this is the one to
Europe,
go.
at least.
Yeah, only speak for Europe, of course, but yeah, definitely the case over here. This is a very cagey start to the point where it looks a little bit like a button check, because Jacko's not putting out any houses. There we go.
Oh, no. Yeah, I feel like in every match we've seen, they are respecting each other a lot. Just jump back in the beginning, assess the situation.
Yeah, I think that's probably, as you were saying earlier, more to do tournament nerves, I think, rather than anything else.
Classic Jacko pressure. Just put some houses down, press some buttons.
Throw the fireball.
Very keeper one. I want to see Yuki use hoops to kill the houses, because that's actually a really good option. Yeah, now they're gone. And you can get in very easy. Oh, that hurts. Yeah, once the houses are down, May has some problems with it. All the options she has take some time to put out, so like Ball can kill them. But if the Jacko player's Aegis field out, there's not much she can do but, Gorilla in.
Yeah, the Dolphins won't hit through the Aegis shield, so or the Beach Ball for that matter, so I'd imagine this is quite troublesome for May.
A quick mention on the Aegis shield, actually. It literally blocks every projectile. Doesn't matter if it's a super or a normal, you can't use it on her while she's got that active.
For example, May Whale, even though it's a super projectile, it just goes right through.
It even counters those extremely rare normal projectiles like Eno, Far, S. It just has no effect.
Or Slide Head. Slide Head from Potemkin is also a projectile, oddly enough. So, yeah, if you ever seen a Potemkin mirror, you can flick the Slide Head. Very interesting.
Nice.
There's some funny interactions in this game. I'd really like to see Yuki RC, like Roman Cancel, to get some more damage in. Like she can pretty much cancel any hit into Roman Cancel and then a 5D combo. It's easy 200 damage.
Okay, risky 3k at the round start, but it kind of takes some desperate measures to beat Jacko's opening options.
Yeah.
This game, her buttons are very strong at round start from that kind of range.
I mean, if you compare, like, May players are usually really salty when they talk about the slide Jacko has, because it's just so good, like a free HS. It's basically just a better May slide. Really sad.
Yeah, it's not just May players that get salty about that.
Yeah, everyone does. If I sound too biased, I'm sorry, but as you might know, I do play May. And I actually did give, Yuki a bit of a lesson before he started, so I'm glad he's actually implementing what I told him. Playing as neutral, a lot safer. Yeah, good job.
He was looking very good in that match. The only thing that I would point out would be that, as ridiculous as this is, the Jacko player could actually do more. It's called Zest, isn't it?
He does. Yeah, on defense, that is. The Dragon Punch, yes. Yeah, he's doing that a lot to confirm combos. But that's usually a waste of meter. On defense, that's something else. And defense is really good because you got invulnerability, but it's not a very good combo ender.
That's right. It's much like a flash kick and the blitz shield. It gets you out of left-right mix-ups. There's no need to worry about which side May's going to be on. You just do 2D and you hit it. And it goes straight up, of course, so it's great when someone's flying over the top of your head, as May has been quite a lot so far.
Oh, good confirm. That's good. Good pickup. He's zoning him a lot. If he has him in the corner, he usually does a very, very good job at zoning him out. Does the 6HS, which is basically like an axle move to stole. It's really good. Oh, that's an accidental Xena. That's for sure.
And Senga's not actually got that much of a hitbox on the way down, although Jacko did 6H, which has an amazing hitbox on it anyway, so he would probably hit it even if it had a great hitbox. The classic. The dust from Jacko's goes quite a long way and also low profile, so it's better than you would think in strings.
Yeah, at least 2 houses. I mean, that's how you can... Usually if you think about combos, you basically think about how much damage the combo does, how much meter it does, and what kind of setup you get after. But for Jacko, you can also think about how many houses can I place down, stuff like that. And the dust combo gives you like 3 houses, that's really good.
Cool. I do like what Yukinon's doing with the houses. He's really prioritizing getting rid of the houses in this match as much as possible, which is the key to beating Jacko. Jacko's by no means helpless without the houses. In fact, she has some of the best buttons in the game, it seems. So, but still, it becomes very uphill when she's got all the houses out.
I feel like when he's into far slash range, where he usually can just poke and not get something after, he kind of resets and prioritizes hitting her and the houses together. And that's pretty optimal. I like that a lot. So
yeah, the far S is a very good option for covering both.
Yeah,
it's quick as well.
Too. I mean, 5k is low envoy. You can sometimes catch a slide with it too. Really nice. But like the other Mei players, I haven't seen too many air combos from him, which is kind of sad. But I'm sure he learns from the time.
I'm liking what Rick is doing in terms of bringing the houses back as well. When he sees them getting hit, he just recalls them and puts them out again. When you recall the houses, it gives them a free heal as well, so you put them down again on full health despite the amount of damage that they've taken.
Like, see, when he's in control, like right now, he's really, really keeping him in. Like, he always chooses the correct option. He knows when he's gonna, like, he's reading if he's gonna jump or not. And I feel Yuki is kind of overwhelmed when he's in the corner. I think he's, like, against Jacko, it's kind of hard to use FD because minions will keep hitting you anyway. That was a bad burst for sure.
I think that was probably an accident because it's one of those easy things to forget which button activates the burst. Right. You have to get your dust button when you're mashing, so you want to avoid that when you're mashing to tech.
Yeah.
But if you're frustrated about getting hit, it's easy to just clip it like that.
Oh, that might work. Oh, Aegis field, of course.
Good old Aegis.
At full screen, that wire doesn't hit anyway. I'm sure, like, maybe it would have hit. Very close. Good reversal. I mean, obviously, we talked about using dead angle to get out as a reversal. Her Whiner obviously has a similar function, but it also builds a lot of meter for the opponent and burst. So that you have to consider as well.
Yeah, if you start to block ultimate Whiner in the air, it takes a lot of your gauge to keep FD in it, so
right.
It's situational, but it can be good like that. Okay, that was a really cool matchup actually. Both players looked very strong in it.
Right. I like that a lot.
I think Riku was...
match. I guess that's a Blaze Blue player then, right? I mean, that must be different.
You would hope so.
Hope connection is good because Greedy here has 0 bars for me. Hope it isn't too bad.
大した形できないけどな。 But
はい、グッドリバース。I mean, obviously, we talked about using dead angle to get out as a reversal. Her Whiner obviously has a similar function, but it also builds a lot of your gauge to keep FD in it. So that you have to consider as well.
You
Cool. I hope we see the Jacko player again, because we didn't really talk about what the houses do or anything like that. So it'd be good to cover that stuff and her special moves a little bit more. But overall, that was, like I say, it was a really strong matchup. Both players didn't look like super beginners by any means. They all had their stuff down. It was just like decision making is the next thing to work on for both those players, I think.
Can we rename this tournament into Argon Mayors, waifu exhibition? Waifus at a layer?
And this is the second time we've seen this very Baiken cover, which is interesting.
It's the media going for the infinite, whether they just do 6HS. It's really interesting, because when I started playing this game, I got hit by it a lot too. The first hit is a high, but the second is a low. So you need to switch the block. Or block both high. That works too.
That was dead angle, by the way. You've seen her just poke her away there. That was the dead angle move.
Oh.
So somebody using that to their advantage in this particular round.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 6H is doing real work at the moment.
Yeah, I think the Milia player is just overwhelming him right now. With very, very, I'd say gimmicky, far range options. Yeah, and the fast movement is really hard for Baiken to deal with. Though she does have a lot of damage, and Milia's very squishy.
I think at this point I'd probably just be, if I was the Baiken player, I'd be looking to add more buttons for Milia to run into, because Milia is quite short range compared to Baiken, and
Baiken
she's just running in a lot.
2H, which have good range, right? So that's some good options. I like last round 2 in the corner, where he did, his air combo and finished with, your Sansa. It's good damage.
Cool. Our Baiken players blocked the 6H now from Milia, so he's catching on. He's see what's going on with that move.
Oh, that must be an input error.
YRC low blitz is probably not deliberate.
But again, this Baiken also not using tatami a lot, but his frame traps are pretty good. When he goes for a ground string into chains, it's really good. Usually, when players mash a lot, Baiken can get you definitely. Because a frame trap, I'm not sure if we talked about frame traps, it's just trapping someone in between your moves. So if they mash, they just get hit. That's basically it, in simple terms. Oh, bad burst. That's going to be a combo. Do we see a dust loop?
Not a loop, but he had a good chunk of damage out of that, which is... I won't worry about going for those dust loops right now at this level of play, because that's good enough.
The good thing is even the simple combo knocks down too, so it's not too bad. You don't need the super advanced combo to win.
I agree, but it is nice to get that 160 or whatever from a throw in the corner.
200 something.
200, that's right, actually, yeah. It's probably more on Milia.
Yeah, kills her. Good air frame.
So what strikes me about this Milia player is it's quite traditional, neutral, whereas Milia's strengths can't come from her speed and getting all over you and over the top of you and mixing you up and making you scared to press a button with that pin. Whereas this player is actually, although making excellent use of the normals, it's hard for Milia to win that way because she's so low health and the buttons aren't that great for it.
And I mean, one of his strong points is the Okizeme with the disc, and since he's not going into, classic, knockdown Okizeme, he's kind of missing on damage and pressure. But since it's neutral, it's so good. He can actually still, win that way. But it's kind of like he's going so all out that if he gets hit, he has to, pay a lot for it. Like he relies a lot on, overwhelming.
I think it was definitely interesting to see Milia play that way because it was good and he was doing well. But
it was based in fundamentals, and that's the good part. Like
exactly,
there's only stuff to improve on, like one step at a time. So
I think that was probably quite an experience. Well, Asuka the Lude Edge, so that's probably someone who's played a good chunk of BlazBlue already, or a good chunk of Street Fighter or something, and knows the basics.
Yeah, Pyox saying in chat, bike into edge is terrible when you whiff it. That's definitely true. Like you can cancel it into specials to make it safe, but if you whiff it, it's really bad. Several moves that are like that.
Yeah, of course, that Raven 2H is a similar one where it's just like it's a move that you put out that stays out for a long time. It's great because it's got so much range, but if it whiffs, there's no way to cancel it other than YRC or probably PRCing it.
Not sure if you even can. Probably can. Yeah, it's actually a famous Baiken player, PJ Ox. Not sure if you've heard of him, but you probably have. Yeah, it's a beginner league. We made a, like, I won't say we, but mostly Argoneus made it, brought this together. If it goes well, we might do another one. Probably do. Like, Argoneus has way too much fun with this. So
I would hope so, because I think it's a really good thing to introduce newcomers to the scene. I don't know how much value they'll get from our foolish ramblings over the top of it.
Right.
Maybe they'll pick up, they'll sift through and get a few points.
Like, we can't give a full game tutorial or anything, right? But we can talk about decisions, at least, try to. I mean, I always try to help new players, so I appreciate it. I mean, I've wrote a May guide, it's 30 pages long, so I'm very dedicated to my craft. So, we have so many May players, it's amazing. But Frosty we've seen before. I mean, that name I can recognize.
Yes, it's against Sash, a chip player, which is the first time we've seen him, and also the second male character on stream so far.
Well, are you saying that Chip is not in fact a rifle? I would disagree.
Best husbando exert.
Let's get Idol in here. He would agree. You see him do the 2P mash on Orki. I'm sure that's a bad habit he made, because people kept throwing him all the time because he was too close. And actually, it kind of beats throw mashing if you do 2P mash, but you don't get anything. It's too curated. It's no damage after.
Yeah, you're best off going for a proper Metean timing with the other characters' wake up. Which is harder than you would think in Guilty Gear, because the wake up timing for different characters is different, and also different depending on whether they land face down or with their back to the ground.
It's usually pretty similar. It's more about it's more important to know what options characters have. Obviously, Chip has a Dragon Punch move, so if the Mei player is not careful, he will just get DP'd. Since it has invul, it's not much you can do about it. So fun doing it.
I don't know what Mei would do, but some characters can make it clash on the first hit and deal with it that way. But yeah,
Mei usually, if you go for proper Orki, all you can really do is run in and FD break, which is you run and then you do FD to hold your momentum and bait a move.
One of them there hard reads.
Yeah. Almost an air combo. This matchup is really, really interesting in the sense that every Mei player will tell you it's terrible for them, and every Chip player will tell you it's terrible for them. It's so explosive. Chip dies in really, really fast in this, as you can see. He has to make a lot of reads.
You probably die in 2 combos if they're good ones from Mei.
And at this level, it's definitely Mei favorite. Like, no question.
Yeah, we already saw Chip get dizzied off that crazy 6p that Mei's got. And his stun, dizzy, health, all extremely low. So it's, again, quite an unforgiving character for a beginner to use. But if you like the character, by all means, stick with it. Yeah,
I think it's cool. He has a lot of options in his toolkit. So just stick with them. It's really, really, really rewarding. Most characters are like that, actually. I mean, when I started playing this game, I played Kai for a little while to get used to game mechanics, but then I switched and played everyone. And in Rev2, I basically just picked Mei and stuck with her. So there's no, shame in, switching characters. Once you've learned one character, learning another is really easy.
It is. There's a huge amount of knowledge in this game that's not character specific, even though it first seems that way.
Also, playing a character yourself can teach you about how to defend against a character. So, for example, by playing Kum, I learned how to, block his mix-ups. It's kind of interesting.
Cool. So a couple of times in this game, we've seen the Mei player get a dizzy and not really do much with it. I mean, at the very least, I think he did run up 3k both times just to go for another knockdown, and both times he had a load of meter that he could have just tossed out a whale and probably got the kill right off that. So that's something
a good thing to learn is a punish combo. So if you have a free chance to get damage, then you basically do a starter to your combo that does the most damage. Like a 5 HS, it's really good most of the time.
Yeah, that's a great thing to learn as a beginner. Just learn a big sexy combo that doesn't need a counter at the start, and just when you get a chance for free damage, if they whiff a DP in your face, if they get dizzy, then stick it out there and show them.
One thing I've noticed of Mei players today is they sometimes get the spinner super, and I'm not sure if it's an input error. The input for it is just half circle backwards S, which overlaps if you get crossed up of the hoop summon. So you get that a lot by accident, especially since she's a charged character. Can be really annoying. Good stuff though.
Yep, strong performance from the Mei player. I feel like we shortchanged the Chip player a little bit because we didn't really talk that much about him.
I think if I can give the Chip player a tip, it would be to abuse jump D, because Mei can't do anything against that. It beats every button clearly.
He did a lot of teleports, air teleports, and then with the H, but the D is often more effective just because of the incredible hitbox it has. I think once you make him respect it, you can start going for your left-right stuff with the 2-hitting jump H.
He needs to be very careful. If Mei is already in the air, the best he can do is air grab her. Otherwise he gets hit because, all buttons of Mei are so active. And if he gets into counter hit state, he really, really doesn't want that.
Exactly, yeah. Trying to think what else. We didn't see the Chip player use the Wrecker that much, which is a strong option early on. That overhead's difficult to block.
Yeah, even the other buttons, I think first and second hit are pretty safe. So you can use that on ground pressure. Also Gamma Blade is really safe. I like that he doesn't abuse Alpha Blade too much, which is, the move where he zooms across the screen. You can follow it up. Newer Chip players usually abuse that one a lot, since it's so fast, but it's a bad habit. It's so easy to counter.
Yeah, it's of course completely punishable. So it's one to not get in the habit of using, so it's good. But like you say, Gamma Blade, I'd like to see more of that, which is very, very strong. I don't know how it works against Mei specifically, but
very good.
Just can't deal with it all, because it goes through all the projectiles, and even if it trades with a projectile, you're held there.
Yeah, it always on trade it's really positive for him. Not to mention it has no recovery, so I think even on block it's +3. It's pretty insane. You can do Gamma Blade and then punch after, which for a projectile is pretty insane.
Yeah, it's a move that breaks a lot of the rules in Guilty Gear. So
and in Rev2 especially, we talked about Gamma Beast before.
Oh god, yeah. Which they've now put out a patch for the game, and EXE Blade is still with us. So here to stay for a little while at least.
Oh, my link got deleted in chat. Can you mod me, Argo, please? I had to post just Abby Afro.
Are you sharing malware again?
Yeah. No, it's this malware that PRK made, so it's got malware.
What did you? Also, we're going into top 8 now. That was fast.
Oh, great.
Marvelous. And all of top 8 is going to be streams. That's right, isn't it?
Yes.
Superb.
Let's see.
And that's great because we've got quite a few players that we've not seen before in it.
Yeah, we haven't seen Nesnet and Chiakas.
Yeah, there are a few players that we just haven't seen full stop, so apologies to you guys. But
Armex was really looking forward for Ness, I think, so.
Good stuff. So this next match is going to be Urban Banjo versus Ark. And Ark is a player we've not seen before so far. Or is it? That's a weirdly familiar name.
Actually, we're gonna have a different game first because Ark needs to restart his computer, so let's do something else meanwhile.
That's a good idea.
So just very quick, well, we've got a bit of downtime. We mentioned YRC, PRC, Roman Cancel a little bit. Those are all mechanics in this game that allow you to cancel out of a move on hit or on whiff potentially. To basically, at the most basic level, you either do it when a move hits to get a bigger combo, or you do it when a move whiffs to avoid getting punished, or when a move is blocked. So that's one of the basic things that we've not seen very much. YRC is often used to set up pressure. Doesn't cost as much meter, costs 25%. Excellent for putting fireballs out and giving a meaty situation. RRC, Red Roman Cancel, is the one that's just for combos, basically. If your move's hitting, if the opponent's in hit stun or block stun, you're going to spend 50 meter and get a Red Roman Cancel. If you cancel a move too late, you now get a PRC Purple Roman Cancel, which is exactly the same as YRC now, isn't it? Other than it costs 50 meter.
Kinda. It's just like RC more. Like it has the exact same properties as RC. It's just an indicator for you to know that your YRC actually costs 50 now.
Yeah, I think it previously had more startup or more recovery, and now it doesn't. So
I think they streamlined it. It's kind of better access. I get it, Jacko. Good one.
More Jacko, my favourite.
But we did want to see him again, right? You want to talk about the houses?
Yes.
So,
yes.
Rocking the intros. So many blue cutters though.
I've selected Break a Spell for this storyline
Good
matchup.
choice. I'm glad. I'm pretty sure Mecha is happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so our friend Riku wasting no time putting the houses down. This time, no button check actions. He's going straight in.
That cross-up. Big Driver once again proving that the hitbox is insane.
Doing Big Driver in neutral is such a bad idea, though. Unless you're really sure.
That's what Sin players say. However,
It's quite true. It just...
It's the threat of Big Driver that's really threatening, I feel. Like, the simple fact that the Sin player right now can Big Driver. Not sure how it is against Jacko, but... Oh, level 3 house. Yeah, the houses keep their levels, as she records them. So, we talked about how she can record them to recover health, but obviously they keep their levels. And putting down a level 3 house is obviously really valuable.
that's right, you've got to protect your houses. If you get them to level 3, you don't want to just let the other player hit them on the other side of the screen.
A big recommendation for Sim players when facing Jacko is to not jump all the time. She has a lot of things that will take you back out of the air very easily.
Yeah, not only anti-air options, but the boards, the projectile boards she keeps putting out, cover a lot of space and keep him if he jumps into it. It's like multi-hit, right? So
Sim players have at least in the early days, they have a habit of jumping and leaping because obviously they are fundamental for Sin, but in this matchup it's a bit more... It's just an unsafe option. Good jump in slash though.
Yeah, I think Sin can get a lot of mileage out of the slide, the outcome for hitting the houses, where other characters might struggle a little bit. At the cost of food, of course.
Yeah. What confused me a lot as a newer player, I saw it here again, is that sometimes you can block moves in the air and sometimes you can't. It's really dependent on the move. Usually if you have a grounded move, you have to FD it in the air. But air to air, you can usually block without FD. Like the Super Sin did, even though he was flying all over the place, you have to FD it, you just have to know.
Yeah, Dragon punches it as well, even when they've made it into the air, you still have to FD him if you're in the air as well.
Oh, good throw. I'm sure it's mashed, but what a confirm though. Combos?
Ah, that's the second hit.
Yeah. The extended combo as well.
It's good stuff.
You could technically not go for the the second kick slash and go for the peak loop. I'm pretty sure that they probably don't do that yet.
Did you see that? It was so close.
Oh, that was so risky.
He did Aegis Field and a frame before the super hit.
And she was just standing there with the Organa. If Sin had just slid in there without Cunt, she would have just died. So that was a very risky play, but it worked out. So good on him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit awkward how to use her piano or whatever it is, her keyboard. Because you can't just, press 2 buttons and it's out, you have to time it a bit. So what happens a lot is you do it too early and then you're just stuck in the animation playing your piano. So I think that's what happened.
Okay, we're not seeing Asuki prioritise the houses that much at the moment, which is a little bit of a mistake, I think.
It's hard though. I mean, he plays a lot around defending the houses with the air projectiles. So it's hard to... If you focus too much on destroying houses, she just baits you and gets you. So what you can do is just go all out, attack her, because if you hit her, all minions die. You can attack minions, I think, and they die in 1 hit, at least the level 1 ones.
Level 1 and 2 both die in 1 hit, and I think they die in 2 hits at level 3.
Yeah. And I think Aegis Field does something to it.
Aegis Field stops them from getting hit, so they're completely protected when they're inside that.
I think from dying, but you can still hit them.
Oh, okay, that might be it,
Yeah. The character designs of this game are both stunning and ridiculous. I would agree with that, definitely. I mean, even for fighting game standards, Jacko is very, very weird. For Guilty Gear standards. This game has a lot of gimmicky characters.
I think almost everyone's got a gimmick of some kind, haven't they, in this game, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was really interesting from Jacko. She, Ricky, sorry, took in all the houses just at the threat of Sin being near them, even though he's not really gone to hit him yet. I probably would have left him out there if I was him.
I think the problem is if he hits her, and just as his, slide beak driver, that actually kills houses on the way. So that's a ground option. You see, if he does a combo near her, he just naturally hits houses. They have a bit of a... Oh, he's out of food. That's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, did he RC that too late, or can he not RC that?
You can RC it, but if you do it too late, you don't get the chance.
Oh, you have to RC the move, don't you, not the hunger?
The actual move now. Yeah, so you need to hit it right at the end so you still get the full food, but not cut it off.
Yeah, as we mentioned in the previous game, Asuka's doing a great job of managing his food levels, and it's just like that minor slip up there when he was like pressured and very little health left anyway, that I think he just slipped up a little bit with too many things to keep track of, which is very easy to do for everyone short of matchable level of Sin, basically.
Well, we can't say matchable level anymore because didn't he drop the character?
Yes, sir.
He's not a Kai player.
The classic character crisis. I think everyone has that at one point. Where you just play your character and you don't improve anymore. You just have to keep at it. Or ask people. What I did was, when I started learning my character, was, post my match videos and show it to people and ask for advice. That really helped me, personally.
That's right, if you're in the character discords, most of them have a section just for that very purpose, which is a great way to improve. Like, don't wait for yourself to plateau either, just get in there and get that
We're
advice.
talking about functions right now. That's interesting. You can make a joke here, probably.
She's playing Marvel.
That's some PRK level jokes we're having here. Dead humor. The Jacko player is really convincing on his neutral, but I think playing Jacko goes a long way at beginner level too. You just overwhelm people a lot. As a matchup you have to learn. It's like Leo. If you don't know how to block Leo, you're usually getting overwhelmed. That's why he's, known as the beginner slayer. Well, not the character slayer, but beginner killer. Jacko's kind of similar, I feel.
Yeah, I think Jacko probably takes I don't know about more work, but it's more of a force of chaos.
Yeah,
the
Force of
houses
Chaos
and the minions. Like
yeah,
until you get used to combos that use them, it's like you find that as a Jacko player, the minions mess you up as much as they help you.
Right. I mean, what she does is she makes you lose concentration. She makes you drop combos, and both is, very dangerous in the beginning. So it's when people talk about, Jacko, they say, and they're not, playing fighting games anymore. So it's kind of true to an extent. I definitely fear that when you're at higher level, it gets more, focused, let's say. But I mean, she's still relying a lot on, gimmicks and keep away and stuff.
That's just the character as it goes in this case.
I mean, everyone hates her. I mean, that's the point of the character. Everyone, if someone tells you that a character is dumb, you're basically succeeding. You're doing a good job. When people tell me my Mei is dumb as shit, I'm winning, in my head at least, even if I...
I've never actually heard anyone say that I like playing the Jacko matchup. I've yet to hear those words come out of anyone's mouth. So
have you ever heard anyone say they like playing against a character? Every character in this is stressful to play against because it's so wild.
It's true, yeah.
Actually, a Johnny player, it's gonna be interesting. Is he gonna spend the money? Is the question. Talking about Johnny is very hard. So much going on with the character.
Yeah, Johnny's a character that needs a lot of execution to really get going, basically. So another quite tricky one for beginners, but he's also so damn cool. So who wouldn't want to play Johnny?
Hard. So two things that are special about Johnny. First is that he can throw coins, and it's basically a projectile, really fast to throw out, and he can reset pressure really well with them too. And if he hits with a coin, he level ups his Mistfinder, which is a stance hit that's really far range. And you can cancel it, which is the Mistfinder cancel. So you can use a normal, like a fast slash, cancel that into the Mistfinder, and cancel the Mistfinder again, and you're basically safe. So it works around, around that. Not sure if we see that though, but even we saw that there. Even just throwing coins to reset pressure goes a long way.
Yeah, one of the main things with Johnny is managing your coins and making sure you don't run out, because they're a big source of damage in every matchup.
Join your subs and chat, showing the Johnnies and coins. I appreciate it.
Okay, so we've seen a lot of 6k from Johnny, which is that move where he takes a huge step forward and kicks straight up in the air, which is extremely good.
It's upper body invul, so if he tries to jump at him, chances are he's gonna get hit.
Yeah, and of course you just jump cancel it for a full air combo ending in a knockdown, so it's very rewarding for quite a spammable move.
Right there, the Johnny was sitting on 100 meter. He could have easily just, waited for the first hit, block, and then dead angle. Just take a breather.
Yeah, or if you've got 100 meter with Johnny, you can always just do your super and see if he doesn't hit.
But at that range, it's kind of hard. You can kind of low profile it, but. What I like by the Viking players, he opts to go for simple combos. Obviously, he can do dust loops and that kind of stuff with Viking, but he can also You can also just end your air combos with your Sanson, which is good damage, not so good Oki, but at a lower level, that definitely does go better. There's nothing worse than missing your combo.
Exactly. Even if you just do kick slash hold slash into super with Baiken, that's good damage and a knockdown to get you started. So it's not a hard character to make a start in the game with.
Now that I think about it, I'm not sure if we had rules against stylish characters, because that actually it does at this level it does go a long way. So I think that's kind of expected.
Yeah, it's the unwritten rule is no stylish, but if someone wants to come in and rock the stars, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Perfect. I think I think Nesnet is getting overwhelmed by bike and pressure. It's a lot of frame traps, so if you're feeling overwhelmed, the natural reaction is to mash and let you counter against Viking. Oh, good confirm.
Okay, that's the really common beginner burst point is right after getting hit by dust. The fact is, dust combos, for most characters, Vikings are not bad, but most characters, the dust isn't that damaging, so it's not a huge one to just take and save your burst for next time.
On the other hand, you get your next burst sooner, so...
Exactly, you shouldn't be too precious about holding onto your burst at this level, especially.
Nesnet shouldn't be too precious about his meter right now, there's so much. There's no projectile Johnny can really YSC. Like, you wouldn't YSC a coin because it has no recovery anyway. But I don't think he probably doesn't have treasure hunt combos, I wouldn't expect. So.
Yeah, again, quite a relatively advanced technique is, you know, doing your missed farmer dash into treasure.
I think he just needs to become the wall and then counter attack, because Viking definitely does some, you know, weight pressure right now. He's relying a lot on the chain to frame trap him. Oh, good charge blitz. Like, that's unsafe, he just did. The follow up. Good punish. That's a good punish. Exactly what you should do. You can just play patiently.
Yeah, I've seen the Viking player still use that that command grab quite a lot.
He's relying on him, you know, getting counter hit. If someone is in stagger state, you can actually command grab him, but only then. That's actually really close. What I also saw was that the Viking player approached a lot directly above him, and Johnny has some problems dealing with people right on top of him.
Exactly, yeah. The Johnny 6p and even the 5p, if they're not actively having a hitbox out, is quite good at dealing with people that are coming into him from an air dash type angle. So if anything, like towards the end of that game, Johnny might have got more mileage out of just blocking and waiting for the jump to 6p and then get his offense started from there. Because once he gets Viking at range, he's got the gamut of stuff. He can do his 6H stuff, make him block that and keep him out of it. But when Viking's in his face, he doesn't have a lot of super quick buttons that are good at dealing with it.
I know for a fact that May's jumping to HS, you can just 5p if you time it correctly, and it auto-corrects too. So it is a good anti sometimes. Ark playing my color, what happened?
he's doing it as tribute to you, I'm sure.
No, it's good taste, I guess. It seems kind of laggy, sadly. Don't see a delay. Yeah, they're waiting it out a bit. A very quiet mecha.
We're having a firmware update tutorial in the middle of our Guilty Gear tutorial. By the sounds of it.
Oh. Oh, that hit? I looked like he blocked.
That was a good try from the Leo player. He had the maiden block the fireball and the late air dash into I think it was K and slash. But
if May charges 6HS, it's on like overhead, and he doesn't know about it, I think. Sorry for talking over you.
No worries.
Oh, good confirm.
Is that good?
No, it isn't. What? Why, you shouldn't push buttons then if you see a whale coming at you. Even if you hit her, it's still active.
Yeah, so, maybe he was trying, because he pressed H, maybe he was trying to auto-guard it or something with the guard point. However, guard point doesn't guard supers, so that was probably mistaken input. Or maybe he was trying to throw or something, I don't know.
People always get hit by the last one.
The thing with that last hit of Leo Super is there's a big gap before it comes out, so if you just like idly tapping buttons, you'll just get counter hit by it.
Yeah.
But it does mean you can also hit him out of it. You've got quite a big gap to press something for yourself and get a nice counter hit combo.
Oh, good command grab. Command grab obviously very good against the parry because it just goes through. Yeah, but I think before he tried to cross him up too with jumping to HS. And obviously against Leo that doesn't work because his flash kick input is just 2-8. What a clash.
Yeah. That's, good clash. If you see that happen with Leo, you generally want to just go straight into FD.
But it's just someone that has a flash kick input, you can't cross up to make him, lose charge or with the input. It went both ways really quickly. I like that the Mei player here blocks the overheads and stands, so he knows about those.
As we're getting through top 8, you can see the more varied gameplay from people.
Yeah.
Indeed, we've seen Urban Banjo play earlier, but he seems to have be playing a lot better this time, as it happens. Yeah.
Oh, he's playing for the beat. You've seen him? He
got the small download,
Yeah. I think the first rounds are always very tense, and then you get the rush because you win, and win a few rounds, and then you're Gucci again.
Could be. I haven't seen him do 5H, 6H once in this set, and he did it like 20 times in the first game. So, yeah, maybe he was autopilling it and he's calmed down a bit now.
He's believing in the flash kicks, which is good because the Mei seems to like running into them at the moment, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, jump inside tough against Leo. You basically have to rely on safe jumps, which are good to learn early. Good command there.
Yeah, it's worth noting that Leo's flash kick is very safe jumpable because it's quite slow to start up. I don't know where I got hit by that dolphin. Oh, you look like you just let go of the stick.
Well, that's why I would have bursted too. Sometimes seems to me like, you have to block that high. If he charges the anchor smash, it's over. It's overhead.
I would recommend the Mei player tries not to jump too much because he rolled this full flash kick out, as you can see now. He's relying on. Yeah, it's become his the anchor to his gameplay, so to speak.
Yeah, especially at early levels.
You see him only use it because he's nervous, or he's playing for the crowd. I'm not sure, but you see him crouch all the time too. So the Mei player can just 6HS him, just loop it, do the Zukov. Oh, good one. Has a long for Mei. The 5D has a really long range. Kinda interesting to use. I think he's just playing for the crowd right now, trying to get him only the flash tags. Typical Leo player.
That was a good super at the end, though. I think a flash kick might have hit all the same. I think if I could baited the flash kicks a little bit more, it would have been almost a free win by the end there. Because, as we said, he was relying on flash kicks so much. And it's a good thing with Leo. Don't get me wrong. It's because it's one of those things that it lets him avoid learning quite a lot of parts of the game. It's just like if there's a gap there, you don't have to worry about how to defend against it. You just do a flash kick and hit him for trying to frame trap you or anything like that. So it's good and bad. The key is to not get too caught up on flash kicking everything and try and have a little bit of restraint.
Yeah, it's true. People are saying in chat, obviously, since we're using the PC version, we have default anti-aliasing, post-processing off, and VSync off, which gives us 2 to 3 frames of delay, I think. But I mean, if you're streaming Argo, you can turn them on. Your delay doesn't matter.
If you're streaming, you turn them on.
Yeah, next time we can do that. Wait, do we have is this a Mei mirror? Or who was Frosty? Oh my god, it's happening! The smartest matchup in Guilty Gear. Yeah, I wouldn't change it now, Argo. I think it's fine.
No, you're okay for now, dude. It's all good.
Yeah.
You only really do it if the streamer is playing in things. That's the rule, I guess.
So to talk about this matchup, I talked. It's obviously the smartest matchup in the game. Jumping 2HS beats every jumping normal offer and every dolphin, so it's the only button you ever use. And to anti-air jumping 2HS, you use 2H on the ground, which is super unsafe. So yeah, it's very smart. It's very wild.
So jumping 2H is the fast fall thing, isn't it? Where she just comes down with the anchor.
Yeah. Just sits on the anchor. It's very plus. So even if they instant block it, so they block it by it when they get hit, it's still positive. Or cross-ups. Got everything. Frosty, not here to make friends, I see. I need to retire that joke.
Don't do it, please.
I think if someone calls themselves Frosty, I think they've got to expect it.
No, I think it doesn't change especially.
Yes, better to keep it that way.
Yeah, I think that's better. This matchup's really interesting in two separate ways, though, because not only that mirrors can be complicated for the person who's playing the mirror, because even though you play the character, it doesn't mean you know how to fight them.
Right. I mean, the Japanese
is this matchup is very items dependent.
right.
So like if you had like
Whoever
Faust or May,
yeah.
or it's very much who can get there first in certain aspects.
True. I mean, the Japanese have a tier list thing where mirrors are not even, you know? Like, a May can be hard to play against. You need to strategize and adapt a lot. Especially as May. Like, I wouldn't consider May an easy matchup, if that makes any sense, if I may.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where, you know, the mirror can already be complicated.
These players are using slide a lot, and I'm thinking it's an input mistake because charges are so annoying. You can just go for 2k 2D, and it achieves the same thing, while being, you know, much safer, better damage, better setup. God, all these instant air dashes.
Yeah, you've got to watch out for the instant air dash because it's a great movement option, but it's also very unsafe. It's a big commitment to just IAD in someone's face because there's a good chunk of time where you can't block, you can't FD, you can't do anything.
Oh, that was very close, like magic pixel.
I actually thought Yukinon had that after hitting the after jumping away after the dolphin hit. Didn't quite go the way I had imagined. So there we go. It just shows the mirrors are a thing.
3k is Yomi, yeah, sure. Well, that happens to me too. It's a common input error. They actually try to make that go away, so you can't from a Gatling go into 3k anymore. They patched that out because it happens so much, but still happens. So we just pretend it's an option now. Oh yeah, what we haven't seen yet is two charged dolphins clashing into each other, because that ends into, you know, slide head knockdowns basically, and you just have a shame for, you know, a few seconds and you're just sitting there. Yuki is doing what I told him, is to use, you know, grounded block strengths. So you're doing better than Frosty, I feel. But Frosty has, you know, the pressure a bit tighter.
Yeah, they're both playing a very different game. That's the one good thing about Guilty Gear. You can play a character but play a very different game but still be effective under certain circumstances at least.
I mean, May is a character that allows for a lot of personality too. So, I mean, sure, everyone will disagree and just call her a gorilla, right? But she can actually be you can play very turbo or very set play heavy. It's really fun. This is so hard to even commentate, I'm sorry, but...
Yeah, I'm literally sat here at a loss for words as to what's going on.
The game speaks for itself.
Like, the only thing I can say about this particular match is somebody pushed out an item and somebody pressed a button, you know, it's literally just May things.
We got dolphins, we got the H button. The person who presses H bar will probably win.
We don't have confirms yet though, which is very important, which is, you know, they call this abari, which is Japanese term for, you know, scoring random hits in neutral.
Educational mashing.
Yeah, that's one way to call it.
Yeah,
and then we're not following up with a combo, so obviously these players are using buttons in neutral, but some of these could lead into a combo, so if May gets a counter hit in the air, she can get damage from that for sure. But they have troubles, you know, converting those into combos. Needs more dolphins, I agree. Needs way more dolphins. But yeah, I think it's similar. Like if I play this matchup, I usually want to have a ball out to cover me, because if I have projectiles, I'm usually advantaged.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of matchups where the first knockdown is a big advantage.
Right, but since these players are not doing set play yet on knockdowns, it comes down to who can play footsies better, which is kind of interesting. Something like you would see in other mirrors as well. Because obviously you can't counter poke with a specific normal or like that's low profile.
That slide was actually very good for taking out the super.
Yeah.
I don't think you knew it was coming, but there we go.
Yeah.
The thing is though, this match is really good because you got the one person putting out a dolphin and the other person charges dolphin next to try and punish a dolphin. I love this mirror already. This mirror is fantastic.
Glad we got responsible Mei players and Chad wrapping the character very well. I'm really glad to be a Mei player. Every day I wake up and be like...
Yeah, if anyone's got any gorilla icons, please stick them in the chat.
If you have... we actually have one.
There we go.
If you have, I think, better Twitch TV or Franca Facey, actually got, actual emotes. Let me try. Like, privileged people you can see it. Oh, we got more. We got
Winston.
Subs. Disgusting.
Mikado Lear, that's not a gorilla, that's an intelligent character. Intelligent players.
Right, can I time out Kircheis for saying he's gonna marry my wife? I can!
How would you do that?
Claiming waifus right now.
He understands. He understands. I'm just mod abusing. You know me.
Time to remove said powers. When Malrodin becomes too powerful,
I unbanned him.
May too strong.
Yeah, that was a really interesting match. We saw barely any clashes in that, which is one of those things that's gets a little bit more common as the characters have identical tools.
But Mei actually doesn't clash too much, oddly enough. She has a big anchor and stuff, but stuff like a Kai sword usually clashes, right? But Mei anchor doesn't. It's weird.
Okay, it's just to do with the way the hitboxes work on it.
Right. I mean, Slayer clashes a lot too, and he's just, throwing punches. It's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. That was a good match because you could see slight bits of adaptation from both players though.
Yeah, for sure.
Like trying to punish the dolphin with a dolphin might not be the best option, but you could tell they were trying to do something with just the idea that they could try to get the upper hand.
Is there a legit punish on the dolphin if you IB it or something like that, or do you just have to intercept the next one?
It depends on which dolphin you're talking about. She has two charged dolphins, the S1 and the HS1. The HS1 you shouldn't use on neutral, right? But players still will. The HS1 definitely has enough recovery that you can punish it with anything you want, especially on IB. But the S1 is safe on IB even. There's only a few things that can counter it, like, let's say, preemptively throwing buttons or, a parry that works. But otherwise it's pretty safe.
Getting your 6p out to preempt it or something like that.
But it's a legit block string.
The only interesting idea I would have had would have been to, obviously when they knew the dolphin was coming and they were close enough, they could have blitzed the dolphin and gone through the dolphin to hit the player, but...
I mean, usually you do it from a block string, like it's a block string ender. It's -4, but since it pushes you too far away to get punched, usually it just works.
So it's just a small thing that at this level you can kind of do, but I wouldn't advise it for the next. Like the step up.
This match is gonna be interesting.
Cool, so Sogi and let's go to Ludage. If Viking starts doing those air tatamis in this matchup, you might find he's starting to get hit by Ball Bash with Sin. Ball Bash is really good at just swatting people who are flying about in the air.
I would expect that it's kinda easy to parry Sin, since he's so predictable. Good stuff. He had a parry in there too. Like if you read a parry, like it's got mental damage too.
Okay, Sin just did a cross-up and well, corpse up essentially, put himself in the corner. I don't know if that was deliberate or not. You generally want to be pushing opponent towards the corner and staying out of it yourself.
Oh, still needs to be careful. Jumping age of Viking is very plus, so if he does it, you just have to block for a second. Can't mash.
Yeah, jump H for Bikens, kind of the god button. It's amazing hitbox, very hard to hit, and of course Mega Plus as well, so very hard to deal with.
It's not ramble fast, but it's still very good. He's trying to read a lot. You definitely see more intent the higher level you go. Like you see, he does ground springs and then he does the air chain, trying to catch him jumping. That's a deliberate decision. And at later stages, you know, of your skill level, all your actions become more deliberate. You can definitely see that.
It was very nice right at the end of that round that we saw 2H from Biken go on the beat driver from Sin, which Gibbs is probably cursing us for not pointing out how weak beat driver is.
No, I won't curse for it, it's fine. Just,
but yeah, that's one of the reasons. The hitbox isn't as big as you may initially think playing against it.
It's one of those... You should use it on a situational basis if you're going to use it neutral.
Stun, go for IK, just instant kill. Oh, he knows mashing, never mind. It was a very good stun mash.
Yeah, Biken again, one of those characters is very used to stun. Goes hand in hand with low health in this game, it seems.
And low guts, right? So... Characters
Knowing May, all her specials are level 6, that's great. I think the Biken is actually doing, you know, smart stuff. It's really hard to go for parries, obviously. We know that, you know, Biken has her ports and, you know, stuff like that. Didn't cancel.
Yeah, you've got to cancel that 2H with Biken. You can't just end the string with it.
Right.
Which was presumably an input error. It seems to be competent enough to know that.
I mean, I'm very sure about that the super he just did was deliberate, because the input is very awkward, like you can't get that by accident. You have to go Suzuran, which is, you know, her command dash, and then do it, which is forward, you know, quarter circuits. Truly playing air footsteps, looking like a multi-blood battle right now.
Indeed, that was an interesting set of interactions. Asogi's getting a lot of mileage out of that jump K.
Biken has some good air buttons actually. Jump S I would compare similar to Sins in this matchup. Her jump D is also really good.
Yeah, really long on tech on the jump D, and jump S is similar to Leo's jump K. It's a downward angle thing that's very hard to hit. Good hitbox on it. Okay, so we're getting a string of counter hits here, which means that Sin is pressing too many buttons when he shouldn't be.
Like I said before, there's Biken relying a lot on frame traps and, you know, pressure swings. Oh, good.
That's dead,
Good
isn't it?
reaction on that. Yeah.
Good
Very
damage on
reaction.
Hellfire, that super.
Very good.
I think he had enough meter to YRC it as well if it wasn't going to hit, so yeah, good option to pick.
Some players struggling a bit. I think he's jumping a lot too. I think he can definitely zone him out more. It doesn't have to go ball speed like he's doing right now. Definitely
Yeah,
just play
he
the
wants it.
forces. And, yeah, definitely. And his jump-ins, I feel, aren't that strong compared to his ground game.
Yeah, Sin can play the Fortress almost better than anyone because of 6p being amazing and his DP being, well, fully invincible with not as bad a hitbox as you might think. Or as Sin players
pretty
test.
good. Yeah. No, even I admit it's good.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to counter the move, you want it to whiff. Like, that's the...
I am really happy actually that Asogi has been using 2H more.
Yeah,
it's
as an anti-hero?
very good pressure tool for Oki.
Oh, yeah.
As an anti-air, no, not so much. If you can get it as an anti-air, it's an amazing starter.
Alright.
It's very, once again,
It's very damaging, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
goes
that
into
the,
5H and 6H, right? Yeah.
That's based on where they are in the air for that particular setup, but if you get it, you're doing like 250 damage easy. So it's really good.
Is 2H the 3-hit move?
That's the
Yeah.
Yeah.
the sort of arcing nonsense that you can pick up off of.
So,
Yeah, most damaging starter for sure.
It is,
think it
and
is.
it is in the corner for sure because that gives you a full beak loop if you can do them. And that's easily 180 to 250 damage depending on like what setup you go for, or how safe you feel you are, or how much food meter you have.
Do we have another May? Mirror? Oh my god.
It's time for Frosty versus Ark. Damn.
God.
superb.
You love your May, come on.
Yeah, but who invited
Come
these
on.
many? I didn't invite people, for May mirrors. It's just
Did you
too
invite
smart
the May
for me.
Discord? Is this just the May Discord? This May Discord for tournament.
Actually, most of these players I never see in the May Discord, active control. That's some questions. I think Ark is a bit active, but the other ones not. I can definitely, recommend checking the May Discord out for the latest in May tech and, combos.
And again, let's just reiterate, May is an excellent character for learning the game. We've got a really good selection of tools, good selection of Oki. Yeah, you couldn't ask for more in a starter character, really. Short of a DP, I guess.
I mean, what most people hate about May is her charges, which is, a charge being you hold down a direction and you forward, or, up and then press a button, which is similar to, motions, but still kind of limiting if you think about it. So, I mean, May's charge timings are very, very short, so it's usually not a problem.
I think it's something like 35 frames in this game, half a second, so it's not as onerous as you might think if you're.
I think for May they are definitely lower than Venom's too. Plus, May doesn't need a down charge constantly like Venom, so you don't have to one charge is enough. Plus, if you compare to Uni, for example, I played Vatista in that game, and she has double the time of the charges. It's very limiting.
She's top tier.
She is, but she's also hardest character I've ever played.
That was a really good combo. Okay.
Yeah, good confirm. Obviously, if he goes for just the air combo, he gets more damage. Like all these May players, I would recommend, once they're done with this game, just go into tranny mode and grind air combos. Like even Kirch Ice has those, come on. Yes, you can too.
Yeah, that jump 2H doing work in that matchup, exactly as we said in the last game.
Yeah, anti-airing with May 6H kind of works, but only preemptively, only if you know they're getting up or attacking. That kind of works, but not, neutral. Check May Discord for the artwork section. It's very clean, I assure you. Please. Overhead. Do we have these combos? Almost.
Yeah, that's almost a real combo there. It's not an easy one. Again, needing the
loops are very hard. Definitely the hardest combo shares. Yeah, have to recognize that. Just block it high if you see it charging.
Yeah, it's not the most obvious animation to spot, especially if you haven't seen it very much as a newcomer won't.
No sound cue to it either. Oh, that's an accidental taunt, I hope. If you do the 6HS charge thing, you should really charge doing that for a Dolphin to make it safe, or confirm. Or bad burst, doesn't matter. Both players really mashy right now, trying to, catch each other in their attempts at, obviously this pressure is not, flawless, so they're trying to catch it. It's really hard though.
So that was exactly what we were talking about in the gap of the last main mirror. Was rather than trying to beat Dolphin by punishing it, you have to get something else out to preempt it. So saw the whale come out, which is a superb way to deal with the Dolphin, because you get a massive
like
can
people
hit damage.
people tell you to react to dolphins, and it just doesn't work.
No, not for me personally.
No.
But even it's very hard to react to. But even then, you can just have to be calm and just block and look for openings. It's hard though. Blocking in this game is a lot knowledge based. You need to know what the character does and react accordingly. So it just comes with time. I remember when I played against my first Leo, I got destroyed, even though I was decent at fighting games already, just because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, and to me, there's a few characters like that who just have what seems like an unending string of pressure that's impossible to deal with, and it's only when you've studied a bit do the gaps become more obvious. Okay, so Ark versus Asuka. The waifu fights continue here at the beginner tournament.
Trying to mash him out of his ulti. Sadly, did a good meaty 6k overhead. Didn't work. Getting a lot of mileage out of his overhead kills, obviously. You know when to go for it, it's really good. But Ark also getting frame trapped a lot. All these counter hits and staggers. Yeah, with the chain. Oh, good counter.
That's lovely damage on that 6-8 from
From Ark, yeah. You can even combo off of it. Oh, good 6k. The interesting thing about Bike in 6k is also has throw and vulnerability, so you can use it on wake up if you're starting out.
Good as a meat. Oh, it was weird. The Tammy disappeared, but I think it didn't quite come out. I think that's what happened there.
The screen can eat it. Like it happens with Kai too.
I see.
May can 2k, low profile the stun edges from Kai, and they just get killed by off screen. It's really interesting. I think Tatami must work the same. Oh, not a good use of burst.
No,
Wasted his second chance. You shouldn't use burst if you're very low HP and you're already so disadvantaged. You shouldn't especially use, burst super. Good Oracus. Combo.
Ooh, he's got him.
He got them. Oh, let him tag.
It's nice. He's
Another
starting to
one.
calm down and feel more comfortable in the matchup now, I think.
Yeah.
Good.
Obviously, command grabs in this game beat, like if you think about rock, paper, scissors kind of style, command grabs beat players just blocking, being calm. So he's mixing up his options, going fast and go slow. It's really interesting. Almost the air combos. I'm getting high.
That's gonna hit.
It does. Good stuff.
That was actually a very good choice of move to do when she was coming down trying to do something else.
Yeah, that you've got to be careful recovering in the air in this game. It's very tempting as a beginner to always hold forward on the stick, tap your buttons, and then start coming down to try and attack. But if the character's prepared, anti-air options in this game for just about every single character can punish that very easily. So you have to mix up your recovery timing in this game.
You need to be careful when attacking people that are on the ground, like waking up. Since if you're too close, you just get grabbed.
You'll get thrown, or they'll hit a button which beats out yours because they're looking for something quick. If you're coming down from the air actually, and you think that they might try and do something, your best option is to come down FDing, as Alwele and Malroden were discussing earlier.
Yeah. You can also just bait them out. May has a lot of ways to bait throw. Like if there's 7 moves, usually it's just 6k, that's throw and vulnerable.
You're just looking for ways to bring yourself down without getting
Oh, good air throw. That was really good.
And here we go now, dolphin lips.
Oh, the stun. Yeah, that's pretty good. Going for overhead kiss. It's good damage.
Once
You can
again,
actually. Oh, you
Ah,
can
the air dash.
Unfortunately, again.
try to air dash over.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't work because it's so big. You need to FD that. Just stay calm. Take a breather.
Exactly what we were saying earlier, that the air dash is a commitment in this game. So he'd air dashed before the whale came out, and we had no way of blocking in the air because of that. FD wasn't yet available.
If you want to have a, air dash, but you want it safe, you air dash and you YSC, and you get your options back, like blocking and FD. It's actually really, really strong in high level Guilty Gear to air dash and YSC.
Yeah, especially against characters who are traditionally quite hard to get on, like Sin and Axel.
This is the unfortunate thing about biking, and we've seen it 3 rounds there. Stun is it's near enough a given if you get hit enough. It's just
it's May after all. I mean, when he was
it's unfortunate that the character takes very little to stun, very little to kill under certain. Yeah, it's one of those matchups, one of those things even in this game. Well, character health, depending on who they are, like Chip has low health but very high damage. Biken's the same, so if you knock them about, they really do take a good knock. Buff Biken. Yeah, in some ways buff Biken for sure, because
she needs something. I'm not sure what, but
yeah, there's something that I don't know if it's health, I don't know if it's guts, I don't know if it's the amount of time it takes to stun or whatever. It's just
she's missing tools, and health doesn't cut it. Like I mean, obviously we haven't seen tatami pressure a lot here, but even then with tatamis she has troubles going in, and her pressure. We saw him rely a lot on frame traps, but he can easily just block them and you're scot-free. So I don't know. Like in prior versions, and the old Guilty Gear, her guard cancels were a bit, I would say too much. Just not fun to play against. But right now they're really weak. But even with good guard cancels, I'm not sure what else she needs. It's really hard.
She's one of the characters that people really wanted,
Yeah.
and they've seen.
Like what Jorg said in chat, like they just removed stuff and didn't give us something.
Yeah, I think they knew that the counter couldn't make it from the old games in the same form, and they tried to do something else to keep the spirit of it, but it's not enough for this character to be based on, I don't think.
Voyager, you can also follow Argonaeus at @not_Argonaeus for the newest in Guilty Gear tournaments.
Yep.
Trying to sound like PRK here. Hope I
Remember to like and subscribe, guys.
remember to like and subscribe. Have
Remember
a
to
bet
like
on
and
the
subscribe.
house. Do we have Parang or Bongo in chat? Don't think so.
So this is first to 3. This is the winners finals now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, faster. Okay.
Leo versus Jacko is not a nice matchup
For
for either.
yeah, I'm not sure who would be in favor of this. I've
one of
never
those-
seen this matchup.
This is one of those who hits first wins.
Yeah, as a Leo player, there's very few matchups I hate more than Jacko.
Yeah, that's I would say that if he can prevent houses, he's good. But, both characters obviously relying a lot around mix-up.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes into play in this matchup, but the problem for Leo is back turn is a 50-50 for Jacko on you if you're next to him back turn, because you'll either get Dragon Clinched or you'll get command grabs, and you just have to commit to one or the other, which is not a favourable position for your own Oki, so you need to depend on Boom YRC a lot more.
Issues that Leo brings to this matchup are like using your sonic booms, obviously your flash kick. The ranged tools are really good against Jacko. Unless she puts up unless she keeps constant Aegis.
Yeah, she needs to use Aegis as much as possible to basically stop the houses getting deleted by booms.
Is Motion Man actually not kidding? The Jacko player is only playing with a mouse and nothing else.
Yes,
Can't
she,
be serious. I mean,
she
this
actually
is
is.
Dota kind of. Jesus. That's godlike.
So like, you know,
That's
you,
like playing Eno on a guitar controller. you
left
know?
and right
It's
click,
playing-
left and right click for left and right. You push middle click to jump. You know.
But how does he do the directions?
Wow, I am not.
Oh, I see.
Wow, what's that mean?
Scroll the mouse wheel.
Joke around. Damn.
I mean, I play on keyboard, so I mean, people make fun of me too. But I mean, I think playing on a mouse in the Dota character is really good. Also, the execution is really, really strong. Rico is playing really, really well.
I'm really impressed, man, because that is actually really good. I'm a fan of people finding ways to play video games, you know, with any sort of issues. So
Yeah,
good on them, you know.
I mean, we've seen who was it Broly Legs, I think, right? The Street Fighter champion.
Broly plays with his tongue. And
Yeah. Props to him.
nothing but respect for people that find ways around this stuff. Yeah, you're right, because Broly Legs does. Hell, I do. I play fighting games by playing on Fight Stick and being a cheating bugger.
Well, I play on keyboard because I'm poor. Oh,
Give me a
Riku.
pad and I can't play.
Yep, I can't play on pad either. I can do TK motions really easily though.
Dude, I can barely
It's
use
really
a pad in real life, so yay. It's great.
Back to the game.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, we're seeing more reliance from Onban Banjo on the flash kicks again, which is good. I think you really just want to force Jacko to use the Aegis in this matchup as Leo, so you need to be just throwing booms a lot basically until she uses the Aegis.
Just to disable that by pressuring it, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Like if you force her to use it, then it's on your terms rather than hers.
I mean, I said it jokingly before, but this really is the Dota character. In the bottom right, you can see her, special moves, and they have a cooldown on it, so they really try to, get the Dota crowd with this one. Place down minions and stuff. But I guess more accurate the League of Legends crowd, but let's not talk about that. Oh, that's gonna be punished, no?
Yeah. Both of these players mashing so hard that they got the same move cancelled into itself in that danger time.
Yeah, in danger time you can cancel any move into another, so you can even do a DP into, I don't know, a fast dash. It's really interesting. An easy thing to do is when you get a confirm and the state, it's just a 5D and a do a 5D combo.
Really good spacing from Riku. Like trying to keep herself away from Leo at the moment. It's not working out perfectly, of course, but she's got the Aegis up. She knows what she's doing. The houses are safe.
It's also Leo, of course, using the projectile. When Aegis is out, it's just wasting time. So he needs to get in or just wait it out. Also not killing the houses, going right in.
Yeah, with them being all the way on the other side of the screen, I kind of agree with that because we can't actually see with the bars being where they are, but they're not level 1 houses, so they'll take a while of hitting them to take them down. However, he's now in this situation as a result.
Oh, he got the. He went for super. He got one hit out of it, but. Sorry,
Yeah, he's definitely relying on that super too much, which is good, like in the middle of interrupting strings.
Oh, almost was.
DP was the best choice there.
Yeah. I mean, this Leo likes to go for the guard cancel, but we talked about this before. It's really hard to utilize. On the DP, he blocked the first hit, like it's an auto guard, but not the second one.
Riku doing impressive there. Urban Banjo is still just looking for a way to. I think he's looking for ways to deal with the houses and stuff, looking for answers. As we said, it's not exactly easy.
I mean, I would assume that Motion Man and Riku, played with each other. I mean, I see a lot of Motion Man, I guess. Also, I mean, we talk in chat about it, so. It's good to have a mentor of sorts.
It's good to have somebody you can just talk about the game with, really.
I mean, they share the same character, don't they? So, that's good too.
Yeah, Motion Man's a Jacko player for sure.
I mean, like, even if you can't find somebody who directly plays your character, just having someone to just game with is infinitely beneficial.
I'm not trying to trash talk you, Motion Man. I see your legacy. That's something very good. Oh, that almost worked.
Oh, that was so unlucky.
Yeah, if he didn't jump, then...
Yeah, he just wanted the 360p there and he got the accidental Tiger Knee.
That happens to me too. Yeah, it's annoying.
But like I say, that's why Leo struggles to apply pressure without a fireball out in this matchup because of that very move.
Interesting to know that Aegis comes back after a while if it hasn't run out yet.
It does. When she gets up off the floor, it's like 15 frames or something. And I think it's a bit longer after getting hit.
That was a good cross under.
Oh, good accidental reset on there. But that was a real combo if he didn't miss the back turn Esther. Yeah, you've got to identify when that's hitting him out of the air so you can do a jump follow-up instead.
Good TP.
And he didn't have the confidence to continue that string, but Jacko was actually crouching, so he could have just done ABC Rekka there. This is
this round.
A bit of adaptation there. Maybe this will continue.
I would say that it's a bit of adaptation going on here. Taking a minute to get a breather. It's a good idea. I think he definitely started blocking the mix-ups more, especially the cross-ups. And after he's just, attacking, getting a free punish.
It really helps when maybe he's not played against the Jacko match. Obviously we knew, so you get to watch the animations and stuff, and maybe you'll pick up on what you can deal with just a bit. So you'll be like, oh, I've seen this before, or this is going to lead into something I've seen before, so I can block this. Or, I mean, small adaptations are what changed the game. Oh wow. He seems to be wanting to push in quite a lot at the moment. He doesn't want to let her out, and while that's a good thing, because you're keeping the other player busy, he's getting hit by stray hits.
Yeah, he's using the running move a lot. It's actually when he does it from neutral, he can get thrown out of it, I believe. Like, you see him approach with that a lot.
Get thrown out if it runs through. It's actually not bad if Leo stays in front. I think he's actually mildly plus after it, in fact. But yeah, it's very spacing dependent.
Back turn 5H is doing the work.
Right, he's been getting a lot of those, today. Just because people don't know it's an overhead.
Yeah, he's prioritizing it, so...
That was actually really smart what Urban Banjo did there. He saw that Jacko recalled the houses and obviously wants to put them straight back out, so he ran in, did a RC, and then carried on the combo to make sure he should put the houses back out again as well. And tried to do it again there.
Yeah, he's really picking up on some of this now. This is
Oh, good one. Yeah, it's her best position. Has upgraded minions. Yeah, it's overhead. If you have, level 3 houses, people say it's usually over. Especially in the corner. They have more HP too, so you can't, just kill them.
Both players are really starting to analyze what each other are doing.
Yeah.
They're capitalizing on specific bits and pieces that they've learned about. Like, that's really good. Oh my.
Yeah, I mean, that's the stuff that, if you have a longer set with someone, this is why, people in fighting games don't like playing ranked, because it's a one and done. Like, having a set of, 10 games with someone is usually more worth in the long run. So these longer sets here help a lot. Yeah, he tried to kill houses and then, you know, baited him, counter hit. Good stuff.
I'm a believer in the long set mentality, so if you have people you can play with, definitely do so, learn the characters.
Yeah, and you grow up, you know, with each other. So if you have friends that are similarly skilled, you know, like you, it's really helpful. Or seeing that he wanted to go for the unblockable.
Nice, cut him out of the IA dealer.
Oh,
Ooh, same again.
Yeah, it happened so easily, but I think even then it wouldn't have hit because it was too far away.
He's got a really good range, that super. He might just have got out of it, but he would have been close.
Maybe.
This has gone from being 2-0 to 2-2.
Yeah, this is looking really good for Leo all of a sudden. And this is also really solid Leo play. He just like if he ditches a few like little routines that he's got himself into on his pressure and like varies it a bit more, be very formidable.
So many Leo cheerleaders and shit.
Everyone loves Leo. He's the smartest character in the game.
I mean, I expected at least one Leo and one Turbo Soul, which we sadly didn't have. But Leo obviously...
that was unfortunate. The bounce off the minion almost gave the Grey Beat combo. But you know, we don't hate Grey Beat combos.
Grey Beat combos, if you happen to get them, by all means, just follow through.
Yeah, like you'll often hear like commentators make the joke, you know, oh, it's a Grey Beat combo, but you know, we don't care. It's because we don't actually care. Grey Beat still does damage as long as they're not attacking. So
indeed, the damage is not fake.
It's just them failing to attack. So that's the entire thing.
Yeah, and if you are getting grey beated quite often, you work on your teching. The optimal way to tech in this game is to hold down one or two buttons and then drum the other two. Don't hold down dust. But yeah, you hold back in those two and then tap two more buttons. You'll recover in FD, so you won't be able to subject to any follow-up damage other than an air throw.
What's interesting to note is Riku obviously recognizing that he likes to flash pick a lot. So what he does is...
Ooh, that was sexy.
That was sick.
That was sexy. If he got the Leo gets a 6 HS after that, but he didn't identify the time. I don't think.
Just going for style points. But yeah, Jacko player going from DP safe combos and jump ins. Sadly, doesn't have safe jumps, which are really good.
Yeah, safe jumps are very strong against Leo and kind of somewhat strong against Jacko as well, because that zest isn't that quick to start up either.
If she doesn't have meter, her properties change, and you can actually throw it too. You can actually throw OS against Jacko. It's kind of interesting.
I'm very impressed with both players there.
Yeah, definitely.
That wasn't only a comeback, but that was great adaptation from both in a very, very small space of time.
Yeah, that was properly that burst bait was so sick. That's exactly what that move is used for, and he did it perfectly. He missed the punish, but you know what? Who cares? He was sick.
I have to say, it was a comeback, and it was a lot of adaptations by both players. I liked how Riku then went, correctly assessing that there's a lot of flash kicks going on, going for, safe jump-ins, being ready to FD if it comes, but sadly sacrificing a lot of, Okizeme. So learning something called the safe jump is really useful. Every character can do it, and I think one mission even teaches you how to do it. That's when you do a jump in on someone who's knocked down, and you do jumping S or a similar move, and hold back while you do it. So if they do a DP or reversal, you block it, and if they don't, you hit them, which is, the most simple option to select in the game, and you should learn that definitely. I'm not sure which mission it is, but you play as Kai, and you're playing as Soul, and you're trying to, bait a Kai's DP. So just go through the missions and see which one it is, and look what options your character has.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a beginner stream if we didn't point out that once again the tutorials in this game are truly excellent and teach you a lot of really good stuff that's quite advanced.
Yeah.
So by all means, make use of them.
This game probably has, for what it was when it came out, it was the best tutorial. I think other games are starting to pick up on this now and they're trying to do the same. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works out. But yeah, definitely check out the Guilty Gear ones.
Yeah, I've had Yoniel's once. It's really good now. Like Yoniel's.
Yeah, it's massive.
Under
Though.
really good.
Dude, it's massive. It's like 185 freaking thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's usually developers got kind of scared to overwhelm players. But since this community is so, focused anyway, and people have to look all the stuff up online, I think they're starting to, get a feel for it, that players actually do want this information.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how the adaptation works here, because I have no idea how this matchup actually goes.
Did we see this one yet? Like these two players? I mean, we saw May against Jacko for sure. But I'm not sure which players it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It wasn't Arc, I don't think.
Oh, Danger Time, everyone's favourite mechanic. So for anyone who doesn't know what Danger Time is, if you both hit a move which has the exact same priority and you both trade, there is a on chance thing to actually trigger Danger Time. Now, Danger Time ups your damage, gives you a certain amount of meter each, and slows everything down. So if you don't know how to use it properly, you can miss all your combos, yada yada.
You can die, basically.
Yeah, it's very much.
We don't really like it, but then again, it's very hype. So
it's literally a hype factor.
Yeah.
It's a hype factor thing. It's not really a. Spectators love it. Players hate it.
I would like Arc to go less for slides, because obviously, like this one, he sacrifices a lot by doing them, even in neutral, and doing his combos. Sure, it's an accident.
Did that dolphin hit just as the Aegis went off?
Yeah, but I mean, it was a charge dolphin, so I mean, those aren't projectiles, these ones.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Oh, he's just two buttons on this man. 6H, and then, charge dolphins. He learned a lot from, the Mikado made players, I think.
Oh,
That's
man!
awesome.
You YLC'd and still got tagged by the dolphin. I think you just need to FD though. I think he didn't quite have the presence of mind to do it, or thought he would miss him. Okay, good setup in the corner here. He's like, Riku's very keen to back away and let the minions do the work for him, which is very smart for Jacko to do. Arc is really striking a good balance, I think, between cutting down the houses and also going in for the point character.
Once again, we're back to the idea of hitting her at the same time as the houses, which really does. Especially when you get the spacing and you can take advantage. Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, those stray 2H hits, you've got to be ready to do your combo with them, because that's a lot of damage to miss out.
Oh, that's the power of level 3 minions, Jesus.
All this
Setting on meter. Yeah, he's trying to instant air dash in, when Jacko obviously has zoning projectiles. It works, it just works. I mean, I'm talking shit. I mean, obviously it was the correct decision here. This is, the essence of Turbo May. Just go in, overwhelm them.
Because the slide though, slide's actually a good starter, I think, for May on the round start.
No.
Which
if
would be
you
it?
block it, you get counter hit, crouching combo.
What's the recovery?
On block, it's -40.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It's also still counter hit state in your crouching counter hit.
Yeah,
so
stop that then.
It's not a good move. It's even sometimes on hit, it's kind of bad. And even on hit, you don't get a setup after. So it's a very, very commitment, very high risk, low reward kind of thing.
Just for mention talks, I don't play May.
Yeah.
So I'm learning today.
The first completed air combo, I'm so happy. Oh, that must have been important.
Yeah,
H.
that was a very strange thing to get that high in the air as an input error. Maybe it was some kind of read.
I don't know. Maybe he tried catching jumping.
Ark's decisions in staying away and just poking when he can, and obviously just taking out the houses is that's really working.
I mean, usually as Mei, you either do ground strings, like 5k, fast slashes, that kind of stuff on the ground, and in the air you do JS, so jumping S. But he opts to go for, a lot of 6HS overheads, and then, mixing that up with air dashes. So it's obviously as turbo as you can get. It's fun to play, I'm not gonna lie, I do that too sometimes. Can I say again that the Dota character's playing on a mouse? I think that's amazing. It's so funny to me.
Again, I just kind of need to point out that I'm really impressed with how Ark's dealing with these houses. I'll say it again, but I think I pointed it out for the previous Mei player last time. But this is something the local Mei players seem to have down.
I'm surprised no one is trying to, just run under Jackal when she does the jumping projectiles. Because you can definitely run under that and then go for a punish.
It's not super rewarding because she recovers on the way down. She's not like on tech before she hits the ground. Like she should be if this was a balanced and fair character, Arxis.
Shout out to our boy Patchy.
To be fair, she has that weird mechanic where she uses meter on all of her specials, and if they are, low metered, like she doesn't have a lot of meter, they're actually really, really bad. So you see her at round start, for example, she only gets one ball out if she does the air projectiles. So
it's true, actually, yeah. The thing is, like, the meter she uses like 10% for each like D special that she uses basically, and it's really uncommon not to have 10% meter in this game.
Yeah, I mean,
so you very rarely see the uncharged versions of these specials.
Yeah, plus she builds meter when she's near houses. Like all the Valentines have kind of weird meter building mechanics. Like Ramlified builds meter when she does sword normals, I think, and what's her name? Alpha does them on gun normals, gun specials. It's not gonna hit. Flies away.
Yeah, smart stuff there to avoid the whale like that. Oh, that counter poke with 6p. That is interesting, but good.
Yeah, her 6p. Jacko's 6p is one of the best in the game, in my opinion. It's just so rewarding and such a good hitbox.
I think it's not actually that rewarding. It's situationally rewarding, and a lot of times you get nothing off it.
Hard knockdown, and in regular I hate to get a full combo. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, also it's like knocking them full screen is not exactly bad for Jacko.
If you get a random instant kill, you can, go into arcade mode really fast. At this level, it's definitely worth considering. People just don't mash fast. Or correctly. There's a few tricks you can do to make mashing out of stun and stagger better.
Riku's trying to adapt to Ark's current use of space, and it's kind of working. It's slowly getting there. That's unfortunate. She went to throw a house. Oh, that's gonna hit. Yep.
We haven't seen a Mei unblockable yet. I'm actually kind of glad. I'm not glad that we haven't seen any ball summons. Like, in this situation, if you're full screen as Mei, obviously you don't want to give Jacko the edge by giving her time to put out houses. But a ball goes a long way, especially if, Aegis Field is on cooldown. It's kinda hard though. I don't have too much XP in this matchup.
Here we go. Put the pressure in the corner. Oh, she got hit by that though.
Yeah, no meter to FD, I think.
Yeah, no FD from here, yeah.
That's why the DP traded too was nice. So it's kind of bad position right now for her. It's really hard to burst against Jacko. Obviously the minions just keep her away.
Yeah, that's OTG super for almost no damage.
Slide.
3H is a strong button.
It's the best slide in the game, for sure.
Riku with a bit of a level up here now. Said she's watching the space better, so
Yeah.
slight adaptation for her here. Oh wow!
Yeah, you get, that's what I mean. You get countered, and you get full screen, get 3 houses down. It's kind of rewarding, I'd say.
Unconventional rewarding, but yes, definitely, yeah.
That's what I mentioned before, that in Guilty Gear you can, think about stuff like combos. The damage they don't need to, they give you a setup after. But for Jacko you also have to consider if it gives you time to build houses. So, because it's kinda a resource, it's hard to call them, a projectile in that sense.
We saw the classic beginner burst there after getting hit by 5D, and May did bait it. Tricky to punish though from there.
Is this round?
Shocking.
Quite.
Oh no, not bad.
Oh, she landed in the minions.
Yeah.
Grady, not real. This round doesn't count.
Well, if you go by, PRK 5-7 rules, if there's no IK, the round didn't count anyway. It's gonna be here for a while. Oh, that's a taunt and a punish. I like it. Obviously a misinput, but...
That was a slightly questionable decision to take out the houses at that point.
If you commit to taking out houses, if you use 5k on May, it recovers just in the same time as the cooldown on the hits end, so you can just spam the button to kill them really fast. It's really nice. But May players obviously like jumping more than they like ground, stuff.
That was unfortunate. Riku did block the burst, but didn't get a punish off it. But that worked out in Riku's favor, so yeah, that was really good.
So now we have the grand finals with Riku again against Urban Banjo.
The run back. 3-2 was the last score, so... And it was a run back all the way from 2-0 to Riku to 3-2 to Urban Banjo. So let's see if that momentum continues.
Movement, lad.
Wasn't that the meme of Motion Man, that you just,
Mobility person.
Yeah, mobility person. I like movement, lad.
Yeah, we've got a few.
It's kind of funny. When we did the 3 vs 3 tournament, Sigma kind of commentates like Motion Man. They both do this, like, every time something happens on the screen, they go, oh, he anti-hit, oh, he did this. It's really funny. Makes me hype. This is the match we read it for. It's just a run back.
This is the run back from semi-finals, winners semis.
We're both played incredibly well, so we'll see how this goes.
Yes, nice burst to keep Jacko in the corner. I support that. Minor drop there, but he's dropped that a couple of times today, so I think he just needs to spend a little bit of practice mode to get that link the back turn S after the back turn H.
Okay, that was a really good choice. Again.
Yeah, he's giving Riku no quarter here, so Riku just needs to make some space and stop getting ran all over by this gorilla.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now. I mean, Riku,
that was the change he made during the last set.
Yeah, but I think she's playing a bit one-dimensional. She's playing a lot of, plays house down and keep away, which I'm not a Jacko player, so it might be, appropriate. But you see him react to it with the command, run into the hit, whatever you call it. Goes right through the air projectiles, like this. That's fairly safe though. Like hard to get any space in this.
Yeah, quite a few times we've seen the Leo player just do run through and then do kick punch slash or kick slash hard slash, and it's like it's one of the most important things is Leo is to mix up your offensive options like that and make it a mix up and change it up a little bit. So that's again same as with his non-back turn pressure. If you can vary a little bit more, he'll see quite good returns from that.
I would also like to, see the Leo player use YSC and neutral just to assess the situation. Since he uses the command run a lot, you can YSC that I think and just close the gap and react to whatever the Jackal is doing.
Can it's one of the weird things about Leo players. Like the more you're playing, the more you find you kind of have to get good mobility options. You have to spend meter. So that run through YRC is one of them. The restand YRC in the air as well is also one.
I mean, there's nothing he could have done but burst because he was, dead anyway. But that was burst safe. So
yeah, good awareness of Riku to tag him with that on the way down.
But at the point where players aren't really making too many mistakes, this is very good. It's just matchup after that,
See, Motion Man, I told you, I see a lot of you now. Motion Man saying that he taught the setup against Burst. Oh, that can go into big damage if you get a counter at 6 chance.
It's another one of those things. It's like you have to identify that it's counter hit and then go for it. So it's like relatively advanced.
What I like about Riku is when she is doing pressure. Oh yeah, no, it wasn't nice. Good stuff. Neo and Jackal players often just spam the 6k overhead or the dust, but she keeps it as an option, as a mix-up. So usually when she does it, it usually hits. So very smart. Not a lot of, what you also see is the command grab used during minion pressure, and it usually just whiffs because obviously minions are interfering. Not doing that either, so playing very careful. Really, footsie and fundamental best. Oh, good burst.
Oh, it's 2H instead of 6H. Close. At least he got a hitter.
Good jest.
So, yep. Should kill.
Good combo.
Nice. Good awareness to spend the meter on that RC there as well.
Time to drop May and start playing Jackal. See me after class.
Punished? Oh, not quite. Where have we seen Urban Banjo level up before? I think Riku's leveling up here.
Yeah. I mean, same thing, it's a mix-up.
Yeah, it's just the...
The Zest was really good there, that's what I was meaning to say. Yeah, he's getting impatient. I feel Banjo's a really impatient player. I mean, he's playing Leo, so he kind of has to go in. But all the command runs, just trying to get a hit. Like sometimes he's, in between houses, there's minions all over, and he just runs in. And
that choice to throw though was really good.
Yeah.
He had some good starters at the end of that game though. He got 6H off a frame trap and didn't get big damage off it, and he got hit out of something else after he landed a 6H, and Leo has a combo starting with 5p there. But he didn't identify it, he ran in again. So again, it's that thing of identifying what damage you get from what hits. So there he has to do a super jump because that hits so high. The wall split was so high, but again, that's just something to work on as time goes on with Leo.
Well, Lens explode combos, obviously we're not seeing those. I mean, even top players don't go for it sometimes. It's just too special. It's hard to commentate. So much going on. like I mentioned before, it's not a lot of 6K going on, which is, you know, her standing overhead. Well, not standing, she doesn't have a jump, kind of like May. But she's probably expecting flash kicks, so...
She got hit by the shield again.
Could have teched, and it was too high again for the unblockable.
Definitely not a plan, Piano. Yeah, I thought about that before. Our spectator list is covering the houses, so if we had a Jack or Mirror, this wouldn't be a 5-5 matchup. It's actually left player favor, just because you can't see house levels.
It's the net play struggle.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen the player, you know, chat during the match yet. The flow detect.
That was another sick burst bait from Van Banjo, but again, he didn't get anything off it, unfortunately. Which is like, it's so strange because if you've got the presence of mind to do that, you've got to be going for it. You don't get an accidental guard point on that H, so, you know.
I mean, that's what I talked before, that at higher level your actions get more deliberate. What I see May players do sometimes is go for an anti at 2HS, and they don't have the follow-ups maybe, even though they're only committed to the option, right? So it's a similar thing. I think if you commit to an option, you need to have the follow-up ready.
I don't think that was a very wise burst though.
Oh, good stuff.
Unfortunate, but just rewind ever so slightly from that. Leo did an extended combo in the corner that Riku teched out of because it turns into a grey beat for the restand at the end. So it's very good that Riku identified that having been hit by it once before, not teching. But still, that is a nice risk combo. That is damage. And he's getting the full gorilla treatment right now, including the unblockable.
Is it actually an unblockable? Can he blitz it? I'm not sure right now.
Oh, I just call the move an unblockable because you can't block it. It's not properly unblockable or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering earlier. Oh god, the risk gauge doesn't even matter. It's too high. Yeah, but I mean, you can't block it. That's the thing. I think it's not a true unblockable.
No, he gets guaranteed damage from it. If you try and block it, you can RC it and run in for a combo. If you get hit with it normally, it does a big ground bounce, which is why you see it used in combos like that.
Can backdash, also an option to get out.
Yeah, jump FD is the other one, because you can block it like that.
To be fair, I think Zato's unblockable is also not unblockable if you have one frame, you know, block switches. Sure PRK can comment on that.
I think Urban Banjo once again looking for the level up himself here. Really,
it's the same thing, Leo. It's just you're not getting out of this corner.
Again, burst to keep it back in, sensible.
Yeah, he wants the round. And just
she wanted to command throw in there, but she got put on the other side, unfortunately.
It's really hard now to come back from this, but the K house is fully leveled up, and K house is really strong.
So this is significant. Ever since Leo got pushed away, this became significant Jacko favor.
Yeah, just be careful. He's gonna command run. Like, Jesus, smart stuff. We're having a beginner tournament. What happened? Who invited these killers? This is one of the things you need to learn as a beginner, is adapting to your opponent. Since, you know, not everyone is playing the same, and both players showing up.
You'll often run into matches you don't even get on, like often, like you'll run into characters that you just don't have, say in your scene, or somebody active enough to play with on the regular. So getting to play that 1 or 2 sets against somebody is quite crucial, and learning from it.
Nice. Was that actually Trip Guard that he got him with there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Jacko could actually have done anything like that. That was a legitimate punish, which is tricky. Nice. Again, wise burst, I think, with that. If these houses clocked up and you getting comboed, yeah, you need to do something about it before it becomes unmatched. Ah, he should have gone straight to Reckless from that range.
You really notice when it, caster actually plays the character. Because they're trying to get hits in real time. It's the same with me.
This is the exact thing, and this is the thing with Leo. He's not a tricky character to use. However, he has so much situational stuff from depending on distance, depending on whether they're crouching or not. Juggles in the corner. All this kind of stuff is more difficult than you would think for a gorilla character.
Yeah, I think as a Leo player, you also need to, not develop bad habits that bite you in the ass later. Some unsafe stuff. It's really easy to, that kind of stuff. You need some self-restraint. It's kind of like playing random fodder as a beginner, where you see people do fast slash into down roll, even though, they don't confirm it and just do it. And it bites them in the ass later.
And you said that just as he did a Rago super to win the round, which is, perfect case in point. Great if it works, but extremely risky if you don't have the meter to boss it.
Mei is strong and popular against beginners. Yeah, I agree. As a beginner myself, I'm amazed by her.
Yes, we're all beginners here when it comes down to it.
Yeah, that's kind of true. You never really stop learning. There's always something new. Which is probably the best thing about fighting games, to be fair.
This part about fighting games is the community. I mean, you're not having, a family like this in Dota.
Exactly. The main thing is just turn up to tournaments, make a few friends, and anything else is secondary.
I mean, we have even, a few online tournaments now, regularly, and it's really convenient. And, I mean, netcode is fine. I haven't had someone complain about netcode today, besides, when the game didn't even start. When it actually started, it was fine. Hopefully.
I think going forward in this match, this could potentially be the last round as we're talking about this. I'd like to see more sensible use of clock up from Riku. This is like, she's kind of like getting it out when it's off cooldown rather than like, okay, the houses are here, this is a good situation, I'm gonna take advantage of this.
Ooh, full combo this time.
There you go, optimal.
Just decided dust.
I would probably have saved the meter there because he can't do any significant damage and he can't restand off it either because of the hit stun deterioration.
It's really, really close now. Oh, 3 level 3 houses. Just get one hit in, and the pressure should be there. He's gonna go for flash kick, I just know it. But that's not flash kick, but...
He's out, he got away with it.
Really tough.
Oh, that's... Oh!
Okay.
That was smart, not to burst, because that would have been the game, for sure.
Yeah.
I had some good self-restraint.
If he had micro dash 5k combos, that would have been the game right there.
Good spacing. Battle of the waifus continues.
Leo's totally a waifu, it's fine.
Yeah, he's cute, let's go.
Nice. I would like to see Riku respond more with the zest in the middle of Leo's block strings, because there's more gaps than you might think.
Yeah, but I think she's actually doing that quite well.
Yeah, she's adapting to the idea of the spacing at least. Or the spaces.
Mashed out of... Oh, it's gonna
Really?
happen.
Gets a cross up.
Pressure.
Oh,
That's it. Oh, gets his burst back on the last hit. The heartbreaker.
Leo won the beginner tournament. Who is surprised? Not me. So close. So close.
Buff this character, guys. He needs it.
Good stuff.
yeah, very good.
So, who are all these Banjo fanboys? Can anyone, tell me where this crowd came from? Jesus.
Hey, I'm now a Banjo fanboy. After seeing those burst baits, this
What
this
the
kid
fuck? I
this
love
is the
Leo
future.
now.
It's happening. It's happening.
Yeah, super impressive play from both Rico and Banjo, and quite a lot of people we've seen today. You know, we've had quite a good skill range from our beginners today. These we've gone from people who are like really like new to the game, like been playing for a week, to towards this end of the spectrum. We've got people who are like they have the technical details down for the combos and stuff. It's just a matter of game knowledge and transferring it into an effective game plan.
Yeah, it's just finishing it off, isn't it? It's just now just honing what you do.
I agree. I fell off my chair after that.
If you win a beginner tournament, you're no longer a beginner. Damn.
That is true. That's completely official.
Yeah, I thought
No
about
one calls
that
themselves a
earlier.
beginner.
If you can't apply to beginner tournaments anymore when you win. I would agree that both of these are very skilled, though.
And that was also a great adaptation from Urban Banjo again, from a 2-0 deficit to taking the set 3-2.
He started off extremely wired, if you will. Like he wanted to do everything, every button, every
He was playing for the
option.
crowd for sure.
Yeah, and then once again he kind of settled into the idea of, okay, this actually doesn't work. I must change what I'm doing.
If you want to talk to me about this journey, do it quick. I'm going to bed.
I think the most impressive thing for me was you could see glimpses of what people were about to start, like what they're starting to do even in training mode and stuff. Like they've not got it yet, but you can see that the work is coming. So keep it up, guys.
Good stuff. I think all that's left is to sign off for tonight then, unless we have anything further to add.
I guess the only thing that's further to add is make sure you're in the right Discords. Hit Mal Roden for the May one. Hit myself or Willie or Dr. McNinja or Fury Fighter for K-Stuff in particular, because we deal with that.
Read my 30-page May guide. It's on my Twitter. It's pinned. It's 30 pages. Have I mentioned it's 30 pages?
Hit people like Valis Phoenix. I believe Argonius is in there for the Sin Discord.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just if you need help finding people like Discords or whatever, we can help you do so. We can also help you find locals for your maybe respective areas. We can help. I can help with the UK. Willie can help with the UK.
I already mentioned in the chat for the beginner tournament that if someone wants to have a analysis of their game, I'm very happy to just analyze it for them.
Indeed.
There's no problem. Just beginner stuff.
Yeah, same goes for myself as well. And likewise, if anyone who's participated today wants to go through any matches or anything like that, I'll talk further about what's happening on the stream. Maybe what's happened not on the stream. If you've got a replay saved, we can go through it. There'll be plenty of people around to do that.
Yeah, sorry about all of those that couldn't make it on stream. It's kind of sad. I'm sure that if we do another one of these, you get priority for sure.
If there's another one after this, it's probably going to be maybe like a league. Depends on how many people sign up.
Yeah, it's got kind of big. And I mean, how long did we cast for? 4 hours? Yeah. No, 2.
3.
Nearly 3.
3 hours. Yeah, that's about what we said at the start, though. So perfect.
Yeah, I mean, if we do pools or something before, yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Just good to get it out in a day and not over several weeks like we did with the PC League. It was kind of a chore for Ninja and Mecha.
Dude, that's changing next time. We've got plans. Don't worry. Ideas.
Well, I guess we should about wrap this up then, I guess.
Yeah, thanks for letting me take part, guys.
Yeah, I would like to congratulate Urban Banjo for winning, and Riku and Ark for being second and third. Like, I really enjoyed this tournament. Like, when I saw, when we saw someone in the early stages, and then we saw them in 5 matches later, they were playing a completely different game. Like, people were adapting really fast. Like, this is how fast you can improve at the beginner level. So I would like to thank everyone for participating. I would like to thank the commentators for joining me. You were really good. You were giving really nice tips, and yeah. Also thanks to all the viewers.
Yeah. Good on you for, organizing, so I don't have to do it. because I hate doing brackets and that kind of stuff.
Exactly,
Not good at infrastructure. That's why Mecha has Ninja, you know?
There's a lot of work that goes into these behind the scenes. So
Ninja only existed for the league. I'm back to doing it on my own again.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Because that was really cool.
Thanks everyone again. Hope to see you next time.
Like and subscribe.
Yep, like and subscribe. Throw this man a follow. Give him a Twitter, like, nudge.
Wink wink, nudge nudge.
Yeah. You know.
So who wants to see my Zato? Want to show off to PRK?
I will fight you.
You would lose, I bet.
I will fight you, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna turn the stream off now. I'm gonna upload the recording of this tournament to my YouTube channel, so make sure to, you know, like and subscribe. I mean, watch it.
Yeah, the first one, not the second. The first.
Good one. Classic.
Okay, goodbye everyone, and thanks for
Bye-bye.
playing.
Bye-bye.
Good night.